Hello, and I am live. We're just waiting for Katie Marshall to sort out her tech fail, left tech fail, and um, yeah, that'll be nice. And oh, I wonder if I go looking for my glasses. No, I'll wait till Katie comes back. Um, but at the moment, it's just me talking to no one. So if you're watching this, hello, a couple of Burks. Hello, Jim speaking. So this is what happens when Katie doesn't show up on time or with tech fail. I harvest her viewers. The Andree YouTube channel reigns supreme. It defeats the Katie Marshall YouTube channel with its superior number. How are you folks doing tonight? Um, I have to look very closely at the screen because my glasses are downstairs. I'll go get them as soon as Katie returns with Mike Pars. Uh, chat. Mm. Yeah, well, it's a bit unusual for her to be gone this long. Um, should have really been a simple fix, but yeah, some lefty tech are more lefty tech than others. So yeah, gerbils have been out and about today on various scampering adventures. Um, all of them except Kosh and Monkey. Kosh is a little albino who is able to surmount great depths. I mean, she's like that size, but she can leap like this size. No bother. Um, so kind of needs somebody in the room watching her. Um, Otherwise, escapes will happen. So let's welcome back Katie Marshall and see if she's mastered microphony yet. Are you there, Giuliano Marconi? I hear nothing. I see wires. I see Super Hobby. Hello. We've still got no audio, Katie. Katie, it's not going to work with unless that's a backup microphone. It's not going to work if it was dead when you came in. No amount of pressing it is going to make it last for 3 hours. It needs to be under a charger for about an hour. Plug in your USB microphone and then go to the pane at the bottom of Restream where the microphone avatar is, and click on your selected microphone. Goodness sake. I'm going to take a snapshot. And see if that will get over to Katie. Um, hmm. Yeah. A message for you in the Discord, Katie, if you can hear me. Yeah. So the three well-behaved girls, Scamp, Dark, Tan, and Rue, the colony, they all got out for a little runabout while I cleaned out their massive big tank, and refilled it with. Oh, when I was emptying their wood chip, it was like more than a full bin bag. Um, the boys have so I've got two boys out of the litter of out of the colonies of 11, and they're in a tank that's really much too small for them. So I'm gonna there's an opening that's come up because other gerbils have been fighting, and now there's two tiny gerbils in a great big tank. So I'm going to switch them around with the boys tomorrow. But at the moment, I had worked out that the boys have a big cage, and there's a hatch that can be opened up. And because they are opposite my fold-out writing bureau, I've let it so that they can climb about during the day, run around the writing bureau, poop on it, remove staples, and kick over a masking tape and other miscellaneous mischief. And yeah, so they've enjoyed doing that today. And yeah, that's why I was running a bit late, was letting them out into the pen after all this. And yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Katie. Katie Marshall is with us. Round of applause.
Oi! I have a bone of contention with you.
Come at me, woman.
I didn't fucking touch them. They were sitting right there, right next to my fucking keyboard, all day, just sitting there, fully charged. And none of them are working. They keep on just flashing at me, which is a neat trick because I have
they're not fully charged then. Or
I
I mean, you
charged
had
them this
connected
morning
their.
before I left for the. I charged them this morning before I left for Tesco.
You told me last night you weren't going to risk the lapel mics. You were attaching your USB. I've got this.
No, I left them fully
mic.
charged for tonight.
This beautiful big
I'm
mic.
going to come over. I'm going to come over all the way and fucking nick that off of you. I swear to God.
I'm not even.
I was going to be nice and offer you money, but no, you've pissed me off. I'm coming over and stealing it.
I'm not even using this. I'm using this. Because I was running late, I decided not to even plug this one in. So it goes back over there. Preparations, what you need.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here finally.
Okay, so
I
have to find my spectacles because I feel a bit, I don't know, naked without them, or yeah, I feel a bit naked without them, or a bit sort of like, you know, like Velma and Scooby-Doo, and she's like just searching about and she can't find a thing. That's what's going on in my brain right now. I just don't know where anything is besides your microphone. So I'm going to leave you in Katie's hands. Her Twitch viewers have just joined us. So say hello to them, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Good evening, everyone.
Bah. Bah. That's okay. Couple of perks. I always feel naked, but I always am, so that checks out. I would like to encourage anybody that wants to show up to our stream naked, co-hosts accepted, of course, because I think TNC would kick us fairly quickly for that.
It'd be safer for you to do it going topless than me. Just saying.
I never got to share my party trick. I've been like obsessing with this like all week.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
We're playing for HTQ a little bit later on. So if you'd like to...
I've been really enjoying that. Insanely.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. So welcome 4 people. That's good. Oh, and they're all on my thingy. Your Twitch, I see your stream elements has come up, but I'm not seeing it on the bar. So we'll hold on a wee minute to make sure that comes up, because I have, oh, now we've gone down to 1 viewer. Okay. Everybody's gone over to Katie's Twitch to check that it's working. Now, what you should have done, like that loyal person who stayed in my YouTube, is like stay in my YouTube and also Katie's Twitch, and then like, you know, polycamerous. Jim speaks on all 3. What a hacker. Jim Hacker.
Now.
Is that a confirmation then on Katie's Twitch up and running?
I should bloody
Actually,
hope
yeah,
so. I've
well,
got people.
It must be, because it's not showing your YouTube in my little visibility thing. And I just want to double check, because this is streaming to my Twitch as well.
It might.
The first
It usually takes about 10 minutes for my YouTube to kick in these days. I don't know what's happening there. I go and check to see if it's something on my end, and it isn't. Nothing has changed over there, other than I've got a few more members.
It sounds like, from what people are saying, it sounds like it's working fine. It just hasn't shown up on the restream control panel. Yeah, I was just diddling with our ticker tape. So let's see. There we go. And then I'm going to finesse it a bit. To talk about our show tonight, which I'm actually quite excited about. If we don't, I don't see how we could really, because we're that good.
I exist. Just saying.
Well, I will. I was. Yeah, I have to. I have to take you to task on tangents and other words beginning with T. Oh, but I have. Should I do the drinks drinks around. Are you hydrating tonight, Katie? Have you got drinks on store? Show drinks. Oh, Thatcher's Gold. It's a favourite of yours, isn't it? I am joined by Bar's cream soda and my regular cup of coffee. This is
Yay.
actually it's probably safer if I do that. As you can see, this cup's been through about 10 servings today. 10 pints probably. This is almost final of the filter. And it's a good point to go into our regular Maids Time, for which if you write us a theme tune for Maids Time, you can win something that I will post to your house, or Katie will post to your house. Or to your email. We haven't worked it out yet because I've just made it up. What do you think?
I have free bus travel within Scotland, so if you want to give me your address, you're a lunatic. But yeah, I can come and make you a really good cup of coffee, or if you really want it, I'm good at doing cocktails.
Nice.
Obviously, I'm not an alcoholic.
Jim Speak does a very good Meds Time shout out. It's usually quite boisterous, so maybe we'll even get an audio clip or a video clip. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I knew I forgot to do something.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's not that. I was meant to invite someone. If he appears in chat, I will send him the link if that's okay with you. You've met him before. It's Mankbot 5000. It's Mank Pete, by the way.
Mank Pete. That would be lovely to have Mank Pete on stream. We're a bit tight on schedule tonight, though.
No problem.
So yeah, what we are intending on doing is we're going through Peter Capaldi's Doctor Who era, and well, there it is in the ticker tape. Each picked 2 episodes from each of his 3 seasons. We're going to go through one season. We're going to talk about in about half an hour, and then we are going to spend the next half an hour examining the political and news themes from that season, as in like stuff that's happened in the last week. And then we'll go on and do more Doctor Who for another half hour. So if you don't care about Doctor Who, just hang about or check back in and we get on simultaneously, that's not the right word. Conversely, if you don't care about news and politics, then just fuck you. Hang about for 30 minutes. Yeah, because it'll be all Doctor Who wall to wall. And just pretend Peter Capaldi's like transmitting it directly into your brain. Yeah, I have a sonic pencil.
Dangerous. What do you think would happen if 2 Scottish people actually met in their respective brains? I'll give you a clue. David Tennant and Ncuti Gatwa are both Scottish, by the way.
Oh, Ncuti! I'd forgotten Ncuti was Scottish. Yeah,
he's from Dundee.
So how many? So right, Capaldi, Tennant, Ncuti, Secoy, Tennant twice. Any other Scottish doctors?
Define Scottish. born and brought
I
up.
guess actors
Just-
born or spending a significant amount of time in Scotland.
McGann
McCann. Good catch.
studied here in Glasgow.
I suppose Tom Baker doesn't count because he only cosplayed as Scottish with his doctor.
Yeah. Well, he is quite a good doctor, and right. Obviously, we've all got our own doctors who we were born and brought up with, and who we actually attach ourselves to through whatever era. Blah blah blah. Apparently, I had the worst doctor ever. Sorry, Colin, but you were kind of cramp.
So if we got 15 doctors, and that includes Tennant twice, then we've got 7 of those doctors are Scottish, so it's like 46%. The doctor is 46% Scottish, which is a lot more than the Welsh. I don't know if there's been any Welsh doctors. And there's definitely been no Northern Irish ones. Because the doctor doesn't do Northern Ireland.
We both laugh slyly to each other. Tom Baker actually. You've shown.
Well,
how long ago did we show that bit?
I think that was our first non-Victorian villains episode.
Was
so,
it? All right.
I think it might have been
months
March. Really worth pulling out of the archives. That one I thought was tight, and time stamped as well, which I must get back to doing. But then, yourself for scrolling back through 3 hours video of yourself is to pick up timestamps can be a bit laborious. Couple of perks he made up for in Torchwood though. How do we ban somebody in Restream?
You leave Lewis alone.
Time out on YouTube, block user on YouTube, add to Restream, block list.
I can see. Oh, come on, Andy. I can see why people like Torchwood. I understand why certain people don't like it. I get it. I try to say each to their own in their own proclivities, essentially, or their own petty foibles. But yeah.
I have managed to find out how to reply to somebody in Restream, so that's nice. Yeah, should we do a couple more minutes? Should we get into it right now? Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. What? Do you need to use Lily or something? Or
No. Yes. Sorry, I can't seem to be. I seem to be enunciating more than ever. I got told to be on my best behaviour when I was talking to my nephew earlier on today. So I'm still enunciating. Don't do what I would have done when I was 16. Oh, by the way, everyone, my youngest nephew was 16 today. I gave him money. He's probably enjoying himself.
Nice. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Katie's youngest nephew.
It's easy. You can call him the gaping maw because no food survives that mouth. Ever. Doesn't.
Good, because you are never too old for cake.
Of course not.
Particularly cake that somebody else is buying and serving to you.
He's too young to know about stuff like that. Apparently. I'm not going. I'm not going there. I'm not.
And I was going to pull up lots of images of Doctor Who to explain what we're talking about, but I didn't do that. Tech fail. It was Lefty tech fail that made me not do that. So we've each chosen. We're just
I
normal
can
men.
describe the I can
We're just
describe the
innocent men.
episodes in vivid detail because I've watched them all in the
go.
last the last 8 hours. So if anyone needs any sort of descriptions from the episodes we'll be talking about tonight, I'm here.
Okay, so here's the rules Katie and I set. We'd each choose 2 episodes from a series. A 2-parter could count as one choice, and unless we wanted it to count as like a part 1 or part 2 as 2 choices. So mine come up first, series 8, Deep Breath, which I think doesn't get an awful lot of love. So Deep Breath is the episode, Peter Capaldi episode, where he spends a lot of it like sort of acting the madman, climbing about in his pajamas, and wanders into a plot involving clockwork men who can sense when people are breathing and like to chop people up and stuff like that. And a lot of the episode focuses around the choice of Capaldi as an actor, as an old man, as an older doctor than has been in some time. I think the oldest to take the role since Tom Baker or John Pertwee.
No, the oldest one when he became the Doctor for the first time was actually Troughton.
Troughton, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hartnell was made to look older.
Oh, John Hurt asks Jim. That might be an interesting little nitpick. Yeah. Fuck you, Hoovian. What do you know? Jim speaks as John Hurt. I think Jim might be right about this.
Jim, no, we've talked about this over a year ago, and I've already fucking told you. He was still younger than Troughton and Hartnell and fucking Capaldi when he got chosen to be the War Doctor. Don't test me on this. Don't anger me as well. Sorry. I got a bit strident there. I do apologise, Jim.
You did.
Sorry.
You got a bit too like, yeah, that was a bit.
Sorry, don't test me. I love John Hurt as the Doctor. Fucking amazing. Love it.
I'm sorry about that, Jim.
I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't mean to be that horrible to you. Please take it in good jest. You know where I'm coming from. Sorry. Oops.
If you'd taken that line with me talking about Torchwood, I would not have let you away so easily. I would have smacked you down.
Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
I'm taking a week off next week. So yeah, Deep Breath is is really interesting because it looks at that elderly thing that Clara, the companion, wonderfully played by Jenna Coleman, who really gels with Capaldi, like one of my favorite companion Doctor teams. She's having to come to terms with this is an old man standing beside her, not a very young, attractive boyfriend stand-in. And I think Deep Breath really, I mean, it's kind of a theme throughout the series, and we'll be looking at old age in a bit, but I think it's really good at talking that at addressing that kind of idea that, you know, the Doctor is actually a very old man at this point. He's what, 2,000 years old, and that there's frailties involved in that. There's vulnerabilities. There's memory issues. There's the want to be a bit harsher, because honestly, the longer you are aging, the harsher you kind of become to younger people who don't really learn the lessons that you're trying to teach them, and you feel neglected and intentionally or unintentionally abused, and you know, and not just by individuals, is the important thing to say, by society. So I really like that they sort of, Moffat's crew just embraced that and really chose to tackle a topical issue that wasn't necessarily a popular one or a hip one, unless you count false hips.
Oh, God.
Katie, do you have anything to add on Deep Breath?
Damn. Because I watched that before I actually left the house this morning, I can't. Oh, God. I've backloaded instead of front loaded. I went with the ones that we'll be talking about later on. Damn it.
Okay. Well, we can move on to the next, which I think chronologically is also my choice. Line, the wonderful, we just see a weird fly in front of your screen, or moth, or yeah, there it is again. Cool. Welcome to our third co-host.
Moths. One moth. They're called Jenny Longlegs here in Scotland, or Daddy Longlegs if you wish, and also blue balls. But the blue balls have been banished down to the far end of the living room. So the ones that you'll be seeing are just, if you see me going like that, or swearing, or kind of looking wishing to do chemical genocide on them in at least my living room. Yeah.
So Flatline, if you haven't seen it, is one of those, like every so often Doctor Who comes out with a masterful episode. It's kind of, oh goodness, Katie, can you help me describe Flatline?
No, I can't. Actually, give me a second. I remember watching it, but I can't remember the story about it.
So Flatline involves the use of, I think it's fair to say, two-dimensional animation to create creatures that resemble their, if a character has been killed by the creatures they call the boneless. There is a sort of forgery, counterfeit resemblance of them existing in 2D, and they can move through walls and ceilings and carpets. And this part of the story goes hand in hand with the Hiomaha, with the Doctor. His TARDIS is being shrunk. First, I can't remember exactly why, but he is remaining inside the TARDIS to the point where it is like the size of a Kindle. So Clara is carrying the TARDIS around in her handbag, and the Doctor can only get his hand out of it because it's
Got it.
it's succeeds so many things.
Yeah. I've got it. Yes. Uh, forced to literally think within a box or a plane, if you wish. Sorry, geometrists, if I get this aspect of it wrong. You've basically been flattened, put on a plane, like that's a plane and that's a plane. So you've been basically either superimposed onto a flat surface or you've been squished and you can still move about within those planes of existence. And the fact that he can actually reach outside of the TARDIS means not a plane. It means it's in a third dimension, essentially, because TARDIS. But the way they actually use that for certain aspects of the narrative is actually quite clever.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's a season 2 episode called Fear Her, which is all about a child's crayon drawings coming to life, and it's absolutely terrible. And Flatline, I think, is
that
it's
one
along the
terrified
same
me.
lines, but
Yeah.
it's beautifully realized.
Fear Her terrified
isn't it?
me. Flatline didn't, even though it used the same themes, which is weird for me. Yeah, Fear Her terrified the fuck out of me.
We're trying not to do tangents, but can I have teensy one? Be over in 60 seconds. Fear Her, which is an appalling episode, has been banned recently. I
didn't know
as
that.
much as TV can be banned. It's been pulled off iPlayer, and I'm not sure why. My best guess is it has Hugh Edwards in it. Would that sound about right?
Oh my god.
It's a pity it has that. It's a pity it's an appalling episode because it featured the woman who played Jenny in Teachers.
Oh my god.
And she's great. I could watch her quite a lot. One of the very interesting thing about Flatline is that it unspools the notion of Clara and her relationship with the Doctor, and Clara taking more and more risks. So as much as the Flatline villains create forgeries of their victims, Clara pulls off a forgery of the Doctor, pretending to be the Doctor and acting in ways that he would carry out. And that's a really interesting part of their relationship that becomes kind of key in the season 9 thing. I love Flatliners. I could watch it all day. Flatline. Sorry, Omar's put Flatliners in my head.
Controversial take. The original is better than the remake of that film, by the way. Enough said.
Of what? I missed that.
The original of Flatliners is better than the remake. No tangents.
Say your face. You may go looking for your key because, well, unless you've anything else to add, but we're going to talk about your choices next.
The pilot.
Oh, no, we're not done with season 8 yet.
Oh, God.
Do you want me to remind you what they are?
Yeah.
Dark Water and Death in Heaven.
Oh, God. I forgot to pick those two.
They're great fun to talk about.
I'm refreshing my memory yet again. I do apologise, everyone. Sorry about this.
Okay. Michelle Gomez. Well, I mean, we've seen Michelle Gomez before, but this is where we find out Michelle Gomez is Missy, is a master. And God, I had such a crush on Michelle Gomez. I think I probably still do. And one of the things, yeah.
It's fun when two Scottish people actually have such good on-screen chemistry, especially when it's so either simmering, like a low boil, and out and out hatred in certain glimpses through both of these two episodes. This is the season 8 finale, by the way, so the 2 episodes. Dark Water involves the nether space. The Clara threatens the Doctor, chucking TARDIS keys into a fiery pit of lava.
Oh. And is that not one of
Naughty.
the most beautifully written sequences ever? That and the lines following, like, do you think you mean so little to me that your betrayal would count for anything? Oh, my God, I'm getting goosebumps. That is such beautiful writing.
No. The first time I watched that on the telly box, rage fueled. Clara, what the fuck are you doing? Literally, I was literally sitting on my sofa yelling at the telly, watching that episode, that scene. No, what the fuck are you doing? Companions, do not do that to the Doctor. Thank you. But
you can absolutely get behind her, because as much as old age is a theme, grief is also a bit of a one. And I mean, I thought initially Danny Pink was a bit of a Mary Sue, or if that's the right phrase, a character introduced to be killed off. But watching back, that actor's performance is fantastic, and there's so much work put into writing the bond between the two of them and delivering it, that I think Clara's actions are, I perfectly empathize.
We could see the writing getting changed for Danny throughout that series. There was forces behind the scenes that didn't want to introduce. There was ones who wanted to introduce them and basically just boot, which is no way to treat any sort of character at all, especially in such a beloved franchise or series, as much as it is here in the UK. Yeah, don't treat the characters like that. We're fine with losing characters, don't get us wrong, but yeah, the way they wanted to actually do that to Danny Pink, yeah, BBC, you are horrible bastards.
We're writers. That's what we do. We make you cry. We kill characters. We fuck with you.
We have no problem with losing characters. Treat them with dignity at times, please, you bastards.
People you love. Characters you love. You see, that's the trick. You don't kill off characters that nobody really cares about. We make you feel for them first. We make you become invested in them, and then when we pull the chair out from under you, it's funnier.
Yeah, but it's happened too many fucking times, especially in Doctor Who and other sort of media franchises, like big multi-corporation ones. Treat your characters with respect, or you're going to lose your fucking audience, and we're not going to come back to you. And hell mind you if you piss off us nerds. It's not a good growth model. Trust me on that one.
I mean, Yeah, I probably should weigh in a bit on this. So the central thread is Clara and the Doctor are going to be going to the afterlife where Missy is harvesting the souls of the dead, and it's a bit of a stretch in terms of calling it science fiction. This is really in the fantasy genre. Um, and I admit I got a bit pissed off with Moffat's pattern of killing characters and then revealing they've been saved. So he's done it with Strax, he's done it with Jenny, he did it with Danny, he did it with Clara, he did it with Bill, and it really, I mean, I feel if you're going to invoke death as a story point, it's got to have some weight. Otherwise, it says it diminishes what it speaks to us as audience.
I can see where you're coming from, Reza. She's essentially the closest you'll get to a human Time Lord. The Doctor and Clara have a toxic, codependent relationship. I can see it. I can. Some of the storylines for Clara, though, problems, to say the least.
What else do you love about Dark Water, Death and Heaven?
Like the Danny arc, the way he actually is that sacrificing yourself, even though you essentially the major part of that, the actual intellect, the actual character, the actual person, the actual character of Danny Pink had actually basically been mostly erased as far as I was aware, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's implied that he is mentally or spiritually staving off cyber conversion. And the result is it's torturing him.
Welcome
Yeah.
to my
Really
world.
nice to think about.
Welcome to my world, everyone. I still exist. I'm here. Hello. Being in perpetual AI purgatory with pain and health issues is basically I literally latched on to Danny Pink in that arc so fucking hard, and the way he sacrificed himself, I'm not sure if I'd be able to do it. Don't get me wrong, if things happen, I might to help.
I think
someone.
it's one that it improved for me on rewatch, because we've had the whole running theme throughout the series of Danny as a soldier and a Doctor doesn't like soldiers, and that's consistent with Doctor Who despite the whole unit relationship. And you know, the Doctor doesn't like soldiers because soldiers kill people, and we learn that actually Danny did kill someone, an innocent,
Yeah.
and you know it causes him distress and remorse and difficulty just living with that memory. And in Dark Water, Death and Heaven, he tries and succeeds in making amends for that decision by sending the victim back to life when Danny himself could have taken that gift, that option. So I think that sort of identity of teacher and soldier is really well explored for Danny. Back to Michelle Gomez. When the revelation that she was the master Missy came out, it made perfect sense to me, and I'll tell you why. I was, of the classic Doctors, I was a big fan of John Pertwee, and like 50 or 60% of John Pertwee's stories star Roger Delgado as the original master, and he is magic. And if you look at Delgado's performance and Michelle Gomez's performance, there's so many similarities between the two. She is doing direct tribute, and it works so well.
Yeah. Lots of oh god, too many R's. Color so many coincidences between Roger Delgado and Michelle Gomez, being the Master and Missy, respectively. Yeah, I could totally see him and her. Oddly enough, the way she acted, the way she got scripted, the outfits they gave her, her little accoutrements, if you wish. I do try to dress up and sometimes I like getting dressed up and stuff.
I mean, it's great visual storytelling. You've got her whole dark Mary Poppins thing. You've got the dark clouds, the black tanks. You've got Christopher Addison, Chris Addison out of the thick of it.
Addison, yeah.
Puts in a guest appearance.
Oh
yeah,
God!
It's fantastic.
Side villain, Minion? Can we describe him as a minion?
Oh yeah, totally.
I thought he'd done quite well. Really good character. We thought, oh no, he's just a harmless little functionary, a bit like Nardole. More on him later. But yeah, no. He's a villain or a minion.
And
side
just
minion.
like Ollie in the thick of it, he's a skeevy wee.
Oh yo, he's
slime.
he's a schemy wee bastard. Morgan McSweeney.
That's the cough you have there. I think it's a good cough.
So I couldn't.
Rez has got a comment in chat that's spurring a bit of conversations. Do you think Maggie would be a Dalek or a Cyberman? You know, I went first to Cyberman, but now I think about her with their big pointy nose. I mean, that's kind of the Daleks have those big pointy noses, don't they? And a couple of Burks writes, Maggie's classic Cyberman, delete social housing. Yeah.
Upgrade. Get out of your worthless council house and come over to the lovely leafy suburbs. So upgrade.
You will be privatized.
You will be you will be privatized. That's actually quite clever. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Coal mines are inefficient. Pupils' milk is inefficient.
I beg to differ. Thank you. Not that I've got a vested interest, of course.
But I mean, also, so Maggie's dead now, and somewhere in the ground, there just remains are just oozing, and they are very much like the inside of a Dalek. It's essentially a puddle of big green slime. I bet she didn't take long to reach that state.
It's not that. I love the way that Super Hubby actually describes it, what is happening to her right now, or what she might be doing. Her and Paisley Sr. are battling for control of hell, while Lucifer is sitting on the sidelines just getting drunk on either rum or vodka or whatever his favourite spirit is.
They are some dark water. So it's just a little past here. What Katie and I decided we would do is to pick stories from this week's news, going with the themes in each season. So I'm just going to pull the first one up, and it's about social care and the NHS. It's from nursingpractice.com. I'm just going to pull this up on the screen now. So can you see that yet? Ah, here we go. Yep.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
You're gonna have
we might have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we did it on side. I think will work. Yeah. Okay, chat. We'll just put you over there for a minute. Go through this.
Jim, you are a genius. Thank you.
Couple of perks. She was the Iron Lady after all. Darren Smith. Good to have you in chat. The Doctor is a space socialist. I will not change your mind. So will I read through this, Katie? It's probably bigger on my screen, or do you want to take a go?
I can go. I'll just tell you when to move. The Prime Minister has set out his commitment to lifting up the social care workforce and integrating it with that of the NHS. We will see. Andy Burnham said he wanted to see social care and the NHS thought about as one workforce. Again, we will see. His comments came during a speech at a care home today in which he called for all parties to unite fixing social care, and where he confirmed that an independent review into the sector would now report back to the government with recommendations at an earlier date. It was meant to be reporting back in 2028, by the way. It's now being brought up to next summer. The Prime Minister announced that he accelerated the timeline of Baroness Casey Commission into social care reform, with recommendations now due to come in the summer of next year as opposed to 2028. It comes after Cross-Party Health and Social Care Committee urged the Prime Minister to speed up Baroness Casey's commission earlier this month. Who'd have thunk it?
Interestingly enough, Baroness Casey herself said that she could have that ready in the summer of 2027. So there's been a little bit of spin happening here.
As always, who'd have thunk it? Mr. Burnham's second announcement today focused on the social care workforce, something he said could not wait for the view, and that was in need of greater routes for progression. Meaning, I'm going to have to throw money at this, or I'm going to have to speed everyone up involved in the process, as well as better pay, training, and job security, bare minimum. Pointing to plans for a fair pay agreement for social care staff in 28-29, he stressed this was a massive building block of a national care service. Again, we will see.
And it would be nice if the money was actually there in time with the results of the report, maybe ahead of it.
Tax-rich bastards.
If I remember rightly, so we were talking about Burnham being health secretary in the Gordon Brown government, and he'd actually proposed something like this.
He did, yeah. He became, I went and checked this out earlier on, he became health secretary after the alleged war criminal stepped down, and we got our lovely
no, can I just correct you? Not alleged.
Oh no, to make sure that none of us get actually sued, we have to say alleged. I love Tony Blair. He was the best prime minister we ever fucking had.
Come at me. Come at me, big liar. I am unsuable, motherfucker.
He can try and sue me if you like, 'cause I'm fucking skint. But he said he wanted to see how this agreement could be turned into a bigger reform to improve the social care workforce. Again, we will see. And that he had asked a ministerial group led by new Health Secretary, Yvette Cooper, by the way, to explore this. Good luck, Yvette. He'll probably fucking ditch you.
I'm going to be a bit naive here and say that it sounds like a more acceptable version of politics to
Thank you, Superman.
ask for cross-party cooperation, which is something governments of the last 10 or 15 years it's just been aggressive, combative politics with no solutions.
They've been doing this since you've been able to vote, Andy, let alone me. You had two general elections before me, I think. And that's I think if I've got that correct.
Wow.
Roughly.
Yes. So it sounds right. It was a very long time ago.
Oi!
But what's so? Can I just pick your brains here on Yvette Cooper, because you do the political thing 4 or 5 times a week.
I do indeed.
Bit more than me and my press gang or whatever I'm on about a given day. How do you feel about Yvette Cooper in this particular role? Hi, Shanna.
I'm not holding my breath, but with any fucking luck, she'll be better than Wes. Mind you, that bar is all the way down in fucking hell at this point. So, hopefully she'll be better than Wes. Yeah. She's going to have to keep on her toes, though, because our health secretary up here in Scotland, she's going gangbusters. Thank you, Angela. You're doing well. Being able to keep up with any of the cabinet up here in Holyrood is going to be difficult for Westminster, to say the least. That's all I'm saying. Not that I'm biased, of course. But yeah, fingers crossed, I guess. We will see, though. We will see.
Okay.
But you said you wanted to see how Mr. Brunn said he wanted to see the social care workforce lifted closer to NHS standards. Do better legislation. Thank you. In fact, to integrate it more, the NHS workforce and actually start to think about progression routes for young people coming into social care. You know how it hurts that. So they can progress from social care into NHS positions, defunding the care sector yet again.
I mean, it does help to think about it like that from their position, and to align those workforces more closely for educational and work pathways. But there's also the little alarm goes off at the back of my head. It says, don't stick all your eggs in one basket. And yeah, the Labour government hasn't got a particularly good record when it comes to carrying eggs.
Good point. We will not get the care service we all want until we improve the strength and the capability of care at the very front of the service. Again, you know how to fix that. And that means lifting up the social care workforce as best we possibly can. What the fuck does that sentence mean? Yes, in terms of pay, but also in terms of training and wider support, we give them the security of their roles. Some of you are going to have to get moved over, still stay on the same shared pay, but do more work. is what I'm decoding that as. Obviously, I'm being overly pessimistic. Mr. Responding to Mr. Burnham comments, Royal College of Nursing, RCN, General Secretary and Chief Executive Professor Nicola Ranger said, "Today the Prime Minister has shown again that he gets the urgent need for social care reform." What she didn't add was whether we can fucking trust the bastard or not. She stressed that the new model with registered nurse-led care at its core will be transformative in delivering high-quality, person-centred treatment and support across the social care sector. Again, we'll see. Professor Ranger added, "It is refreshing to hear a Prime Minister so directly address poor pay in social care, which remains one of the biggest barriers to recruiting and retaining skilled staff. The goal now must be making social care an employer of choice on par with the NHS, with people able to move between services without risking a cut in their pay." Again, we will find out.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that Burnham puts this out within his first month in office. It certainly sends out the right signals to those who aren't looking a bit deeper or who aren't skilled observers that way, who's not like I guess yourself, Katie, who's got background in health and medicine and the workforce in that area.
Can I go in just a tiny bit of a side tangent here?
Go for it.
My younger sister is a community nurse in community health and care in the community, and also palliative care, end of life care. And she read that and texted me, "I didn't fucking trust the bastard. I know what it was like when Mum was still working in the NHS." This was before we actually got the Holyrood Parliament.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of divide and conquer going on here, or not integrate and conquer. Yeah, because of what we've seen with the cripplingness, the NHS, the attempt to sell it off to America. Well, why not do the same for social care? Very cynical and observant, might say, like me.
What I'm another little mini side tangent. Any Americans in the chat, if you're in my Discord or in Kev's or Helena's, post in there and I can talk about it on my streams. Okay? I really want to talk about care in the community, or like that sort of aspect, like frontline NHS and care, essentially. Yes, free at the point of use, blah blah blah, good, love it, amazing. But social care and especially end of life care, please post, because I really want to talk to a few different Americans. I've already got 2 lined up, by the way, and I just need to say to them when I want them on my stream.
We can
Shanna, if you can.
We can move on to our next story because it kind of crosses over with this one a little bit. It's a BBC piece, Social Care 4 Ways to Reform the System, written by Ben Chew, came out 4 days ago. He's a policy and analyst correspondent for BBC Verify. So Prime Minister Andy Burnham has said he wants major reform of the social care system in England, calling the situation bad for everybody. In a speech at a care home on Wednesday, he announced that cross-party talks involving the Conservatives and Liberal Democrats would start later. Burnham has also asked Baroness Casey, who's carrying out a review of social care, to bring forward a report by year. She will now set out her recommendations in 2027. He confirmed her review will also look at the question of how to pay for any reforms. BBC Verify has looked at 4 options for approaching reform and how much they would cost. So initially we went back and forward about covering this article because it's essentially speculation on the BBC's part.
Pretty much.
It's opinion masquerading as news. But I decided to include it.
Oh, no. Andy, this is news. Honestly, it's news. It is.
Wouldn't be the BBC dictating government policy, would it?
They're an independent. They're independent of the government.
Fair,
Obviously.
unbiased, and impartial. Yeah.
Apparently.
But what the article does is pick up on some BBC versions of historical decisions, options, things that past governments have looked at. So I think in broad terms, they might very well be on Burnham's desk. So there's a little bit down here, actually, I'll go to first. 5 previous attempts at reform of social care in England. Actually, I'll maybe cycle back to that if they're not covered in the article. So the first of 4 is a cap on lifetime care costs. Some people face extremely high costs for care at the end of their life. It has been estimated that around 1 in 7 people aged 65 and over face lifetime care costs of more than 100,000. And this figure is derived from those patients who are diagnosed with dementia. As I understand it, 1 in 7 is quite a high number for dementia, much higher than
the European standard for dementia care. I'll set aside us. We can put the UK and all the separate NHS and dementia care things. We'll leave these little groups of islands alone for the second. The continental standard is 1 in 15, and the highest one is in Sweden, which is 1 in 18. So ours is fucking diabolical.
This is what happens when you create an environment where old people have to suffer, where they're being arrested for saying, I support Palestine action, when they are having their pension ages constantly moved forward, where there's mad rhetoric around immigration. It paints a picture, it creates a picture, a view of a world that has lost its fucking marbles. And it makes it very difficult for an elderly person to adjust from a world that was much saner, by and large. There's a mention of the Conservatives proposing those receiving care at home pay for full cost if they were worth 100,000 or more, branded by Labour at the time as dementia tax, because some people with dementia need care for longer periods and would have paid more. The plan was not implemented. In 2011, a commission headed by the economist Andree proposed a lifetime cap of 35,000. He estimated his proposed reforms would cost between 1.3 billion and 2.2 billion a year. Cost today higher because of inflation. Cameron's government, the coalition government, accepted his recommendations. But after the 2015 general election, delivering a Tory majority, he delayed the implementation of the cap to 2020 over what he said were pressures on the public finances, aka austerity.
Bullshit!
Fucking suffer, you prole bastards. And just speed forward to this chart on spending on adult social care in England. And there you can see where it kind of rises a little bit at the start and then dips through the austerity years. When you have, Cameron and Osborne's vendetta against the commoners, where it appears to go back down to 2006, 2007 levels. Yeah, fuck him. Option 2. I just said below, yes. About May proposing to reform social care, which would have included means testing to decide what state funding they could get.
Yeah, that's nice. Means testing always fucking works out well for everyone, doesn't it?
Option 2, a more generous means test. In England, people can currently qualify for local authority financial support in a residential care home if all their assets, including their home, are worth less than 23,250. This is known as a means test, where the level of financial support a person gets is based on the value of their assets and savings. Some have suggested this threshold should be raised significantly so that many more people will qualify for means-tested support. Johnson's Tory government, which that's a bad use of the capital C, or is it? Yeah, sorry, Johnson was a Conservative. I just thought he was a mad fucker. Johnson's Conservative government in 2021 planned to raise the means.
Oh, he was a mad fucker.
He was mad fucker party. The annual cost of Johnson's reforms would have been 1.8 billion a year over 3 years, although this was expected to rise over time as more people qualified. The Johnson government planned a new health and social care levy to pay for the package, but this was eventually scrapped by his Conservative successors as Prime Minister because they wanted to keep taxes down. Anything to say on that, Katie? Because I'm out of breath.
If successive governments hadn't actually either kicked it into the medium length grass or the long grass and actually sat down at a table and talked to either their coalition partners, but the Lib Dems had been so poisoned by the end of that coalition government, and like other interested people within the opposition parties, if they'd actually willing to get round the table and actually discuss this, because you have to remember the Barnett consequentials for all of this stuff. It still affects us. It affects me and affects Andy as well, because our funding gets based on all of this stuff that happens down in England. It's the same for Wales. We might have devolved administrations. Rejoice! That is awesome. I love it. But they still treat us like shit because they do these fucking horrible fucking policies and try to force it through the Lords using the Parliament Act, or what I call the parliamentary sledgehammer. Shut up, you crusty old bastards. This was in our manifesto. It's getting done whether you like it or not. And most of these social care forms were literally at the point of with the parliamentary sledgehammer getting used just to bash it through the House of Lords. Yay! it's brilliant having a second fucking unelected chamber, isn't it, everyone? The fact that they don't actually talk to the devolved administrations over this kind of stuff, where we can all come to a fucking consensus about it. No. We're all just provincials. We're all just backward heathens, apparently.
Well, the last two options, which are the better ones, talk about a particular devolved administration that's doing quite well. It's quite close to home, Katie. So free personal care, an alternative approach is to ensure that everyone who is eligible, based on their needs, should get state-funded personal care that is free at the point of use. This would be provided free regardless of an individual's means and whether it was received by an elderly person in their own house or a residential care home. Scotland has implemented such a system. However, it's important to note that personal care takes in things like helping frail elderly people wash and dress and go to the toilet. I don't think that sentence is worthy of a however. I think it maybe ought to start with a more affirmative word, but it does not include accommodation, food, and everyday living costs, which are subject to means testing. Okay. The Health Foundation. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say what they mean by other everyday living costs. They mean by like traveling, maybe getting a takeaway or something like that, going out, visiting friends and family, or getting friends and family to come visit you and take you for a day and stuff like that. Those aren't means tested. You actually have to have either the funds available to do them, which, yeah, I understand that. But if you've got a lot of the other stuff which are home-based, having that covered, you can actually go out and actually just get out and about. That'd be good.
Yeah, so presumably if you're getting universal credit or a pension or some other means of social welfare support, you can have money to work with your carer and do those things that are about extra quality of life that everybody should be having.
Yeah.
And not just, aside from the stuff that you need to actually fucking survive, the sort of the warmer stuff on top of that's a foundation for it.
I will just go on a quick little side tangent. This got scuppered, by the way. Everyone. What the SNP government, when Nicola took over, we were in talks with COSLA, which is the umbrella organisation for the 32 councils up here in Scotland, to actually do a fully integrated social care service Scotland-wide. But because the unionist parties, and if they had overall control in whatever council, or if it was no overall control and coalitions with like the Scum or the Scum supporting party, or, well, not back then, the Reform or UKIP or anyone like that. But if they were not in either SNP minority control with willing partners within the council, all the major conservative controlled or conservative coalition or Labour majority councils up here in Scotland, they scuppered it at every fucking turn, because guess what? They were taking their orders from down south of the border. Who'd have thunk it? Westminster trying to derail Scotland yet again.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we never managed to get that integrated care plan through, because we needed the backing of at least 20 25 of the councils, and we couldn't get that because SNP only had 16. Only had half of the councils, not all of them.
It's a really good
Thank
comment,
you.
Jackie. If public energy and water were nationalised, the funding for this national social care might be cheaper. Oh, yeah.
Correct. Correct, Jacqueline. Thank you, my dear. Hello, Jackie.
We've already got our first bit of spam from, looks like from Feeling Colud 96 AIViewerStreamboo.com. There you go. You can check that out if you're a cunt. We'll be talking about how shit AI is in a bit. But so the Health Foundation think tank estimates that implementing a Scottish-style system in England would cost 7.5 billion a year by 2036. Quite a bit more money, but sounds like it's worth it because, like Scotland, Japan and Germany have systems which base entitlement to personal social care mainly on people's care needs rather than their ability to pay. Japan and Germany, though, have a mandatory long-term care insurance system which is funded through contributions from workers and employers. Both countries also do not usually cover the full cost of personal care, so individuals are responsible for some of the expenses. And the fourth option, National Care Service, and this would be similar in ambition to the NHS, which sounds fucking great. It would mean all personal care would be free at the point of use while establishing national standards and care entitlement criteria. The Health Foundation has estimated the cost of creating a universal and comprehensive social care system in England would be around 19 billion a year extra by 2036. And let's face it, we've got at least 19 multi-billionaires in the country. So, you know, a bit of a tax would keep that working. Tax 19 people, you've got it sorted.
Pause a second. I will go and check.
Okay, I'm not pausing now. I'm going to keep going. There's the
how many billionaires are based in the UK?
There's the diagram comparing the three types: the cap on care costs, free personal care, 7.5 billion, and universal and comprehensive care, 18.5 billion. I find it very unlikely that Burnham would go for the fairest option. Too left wing for the Labour Party, which is a bit of a right wing parliamentary party.
It really should be the universal and comprehensive care. It really should be.
Makes sense.
We might be able to get them to do the free personal, but we all know it's probably going to be the cap on care costs because that's what he wanted to try and, well, he wanted to actually do the middle one, but he got rolled back on that. I wonder from whom. Gordon Brown, you're a traitor to your homeland. Do not come. Well, yeah, it's actually living back up here in his home nation. But yeah, he can do one.
I wonder what's going on with the BBC suggesting progressive avenues. So as we talked earlier, Burnham had a plan for a national care service, which was branded by the Tories as a death tax because it would have made use of it would have been paid for by people's estates after they died. So it would have come out of an inheritance if those estates were worth a certain amount of money. So it's not really a death tax because they're not being taxed until after they died, or they're not even being taxed at all. And to be honest, you ask most people in this country, 99 or in these countries, 99% are going to say, yes, my parents, I would like to look after them to have the money to look after them in their old age. I would like that inheritance paid to look after them. Not everybody, but okay, maybe 98 or 97% would be willing to trade inheritance they don't have, money they don't have, for money that can be put to use during that person's lifetime that probably they actually worked and slaved for to look after them in their old age. So yeah, let's not be dicks about it, Tories, tabloids. After the election, then Prime Minister Keir Starmer kicked the whole idea into the long grass by commissioning Louise Casey. And it's worth bearing in mind that these four approaches above are not mutually exclusive. Previous proposals have often combined more than one of them, such as a cap on lifetime costs with a more generous means test. Okay. Okay, that was intense. This is why we don't do this sort of thing.
Trust me, Andy. I'm used to it. I kind of shrug it off, but I
okay, well, I don't do this sort of thing.
I kind of internalize it to a certain extent, but yeah, I expedite all my sentence when I'm talking about what I'm doing on my stream and stuff like that. But yeah, some of the ones around, especially health, disability, and social care, those sort of spheres of social life, those spheres of all of us. Yeah, I do get kind of rage fueled. Don't get me wrong, but they know what to do. They just won't fucking do it. They've tried so many times. Then the people in the Canary Wharf saying, where you're going to get the money from that?
Some more good comments in chat, Jackie. They're always asked, how will you pay for this? But another question should be, can you find a workforce for this? Which speaks to another story we have later, but also, I mean, yeah, I was thinking when I was reading when I was reading through the integrated social care story. You know, you've got a Britain where so many of the NHS and social care workers are, for want of a better term, non-whites, or they've legally migrated, or the BAME. And they're living in an environment where they are demonized and chased through the streets. And, you know, if you want people to work for the NHS and social care, and sounding a bit racist, I don't think I am, but a lot of people from a lot of non-whites are much better at working in the care sector than whites are. Okay, that is racist. But, you know, if you create, it goes back to the root, if you create a pleasant atmosphere, a comfortable, safe environment for people to be in, they will be more inclined to want to be there, to not go back, to not go overseas and work there instead. If you create the right income, living conditions, free from abuse and harassment. I mean, those frontline workers, like people working in hospitals, have always faced high levels of abuse. And we saw it in COVID as well, where there's been a tendency to forget that the people working in this sector were fucking heroes. And yeah, I think you've got a rant attached to mine, Katie, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to call someone out here. I'm sorry I didn't notice you before Shanna did. Sorry, Nabil. Rejoice, Nabil225 in the chat. Hi, Nabil. How is it going? And yeah, it's true that places like India and Cuba have high output of exported doctors and social care and nurses and physios and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because their education and training and actually on-site work is so much better funded, even though the American imperialist war machine tries to defund us or defund Jews, essentially. Everyone go and follow Nabil. He's
I
awesome.
was just going to say, I hope I didn't upset
Yeah,
anybody while I was fumbling around to find the right words. I think I got there eventually, but might have said a few wrong ones. I
I'll
was
give.
trying to.
I'll. You've got to get out with me. I completely understand. I get it. I've got friends and actual blood relatives. One may be retired, but for all intents and purposes, she's still immersed in that sphere. For anyone in chat who doesn't know, my mum was a midwife and a sister, matron, if you wish, if that's an easier word. Before I arrived on the scene, and a midwife for 38 years, up here in Scotland. And my sister's a social care nurse and palliative care nurse up in my hometown, home city of Perth. So yes, I've got 2 pharmacists, a trainee psychologist, and a child behaviouralist. All cousins, all blood relatives who work in the NHS. And they're literally on the front lines of this happening right now, especially my sister. I try to connect with her every so often when she's got the time to spare. But yeah, I ask her, do you think he'll change anything? No, he didn't change much when he was health secretary in Gordon Brown. So, no. That's why we got it
And
devolved.
just Omaha writes. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna show Omaha's comment. I'll use my super magic mod powers on this stream. Yeah, and some really good comments in chat. Jacqueline again, giving nurses and carers a decent pay and conditions, no matter if they were born in the countries in Britain or not. Fuck yes.
Here,
Thank you,
Jack.
Jacqueline. You're kind of hot.
Here, Jacqueline. Here. And yes, Omaha. Why do you think I keep on telling you, come back home? I can help if you want.
Let's we're changing it up. We're changing it up every bit at a time. Oh, where did Katie's camera? Oh, there she is. Doctor Who, season 9. Again, we have picked a couple of episodes each to talk about. For me, it is the 2-part Dalek story that opens it up, treated as one. Okay, what's our kind of theme this season? Oh, it's kind of around extremism, but in a sort of a non-coded sort of way, and how far. So somebody mentioned earlier, Clara and the Doctor have this toxic, codependent relationship, and we see Clara more and more follow the Doctor and kind of run in front of him as well. And we see this in the 2-part Dalek opener, but I think the reason I picked it is that Doctor Who kind of has had a Dalek problem for many years, that the production hasn't really figured out how to do a good Dalek story. And I think
Dalek,
this is kind of
Dalek problem. Decades.
Well, I mean, yes, Dalek is Dalek is fantastic, but it's also the problem is what has there been after Dalek that has come close, and actually has really focused on the Daleks as well, you know, what they are. And I think I forget what this two-part is called, but I think this does it extremely well. It's kind of a partial recreation of the Tom Baker classic Genesis of the Daleks. Do I have the right? All that sort of great moral decisions, but
You do,
oh,
yeah.
well, finish chewing before you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the Tom Baker one right. Yeah.
Did right.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. I thought you said yes. I do have the right. Like fuck the Daleks, wipe them all out.
No, you got the correct
That's-
the Tom Baker reference. Yeah, that's the correct one.
Also, fuck the Daleks. I mean, Davros wasn't much nicer after Capaldi saved his ass, which is kind of the center narrative of this two-parter. But one of the reasons I like it so much is it copied an idea that was in my own head. Daleks are kind of tired. I mean, and this is a fundamental flaw because Nazis are boring, right? It's the same old shit every time they crawl out of their woodwork. And you can go one of two ways. You can go a number of ways. You can recycle that. You can mock them by pushing them about, which is just kind of fun for a little while. But from a visual storyteller's point of view, I have often thought that the key on making the Daleks fresh as villains is to talk about their architecture, talk about how they build their cities and how everything around them becomes an extension of how the Dalek itself looks. And I think this two-parter does that very well in establishing how Scarrow, the home planet, is built out, and throw into the mix Michelle Gomez again with Delgado level regularity and a want to poke their nose in schemes of much more powerful enemies. So I don't know that this particularly fits into the themes of extremism and cuckery, but our parameters were choose a story because you like it.
Oh, of course it does. Davros is there. He does get extreme. We've seen him get extreme in previous episodes with 4, 5 different doctors. 3 in the modern era. How bad he's been and how brain-addled or psychopathic, if you wish. Sometimes with his full capacity, his full mental capacity, but still absolutely fucking depraved and megalomaniac, essentially. But yeah, it gets borne out in these 2 episodes, which is glorious to see. As a villain, Davros, top tier. One of the best villains Doctor Who has ever came up with. Still a total fucking bastard and obviously a fucking fascist. Obviously. Just look at the Daleks. From their first incarnation with Hartnell all the way down the decades. Yeah, Davros is a very unique individual. That's why... Oh, that's the second episode. Oh.
The second episode? Oh, you did no spoilers now. Is that what you're doing? Okay. Yeah, we'll honor Kitty's politeness.
Sorry.
Oh, Nabil with a hot take there.
Correct.
Yeah, Sylvester McCoy was awesome. That was Omaha's. Sorry. I do agree with Omaha entirely there. My favorite of my first Doctor, really, that I connected with.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I'm going to be tedious. The first Doctor I connected with was David Tennant.
teenagers, eh?
Oh yes, I'm
Um,
so fucking boring.
My second choice is also the next one in running order because, two-parters. Remember the rules: two-parters can count as one, and all of season 9 is two-parters with a few exceptions. So, I claim, and I expect you've got strong love for this as well, Katie, the Zygon invasion and the Zygon inversion. Which is peak Doctor Who as far as I'm concerned. Its handling of immigration as a topic is, and in terms of media coverage, is honestly second to none. If that should be the bar for Doctor Who doing political, the template. It's masterful storytelling. If you've not seen it already, do seek it out, pirate it, buy it, whatever you need to get that, because it's probably underrated. It's probably underrated. It's better than Vincent and the Doctor. There, I said it. Cat among the pigeons.
Oh no, I'll agree with you on that. Don't get me wrong, I quite like that episode. But yeah, these two episodes so much better.
Yeah, and it also, just to strengthen my case, it also functions as a sequel to the movie. So you could have, you could, if it kind of should have even been released in cinemas as a movie too. Electric Zygon Boogaloo. It does so much stuff.
That would mean the BBC have to be nice and give broadcasting rights or licensing rights, and they want to do that. Really, just saying.
You've also got it manages to solve the problem of Osgood being
one of my
favorite
characters. One of my favorite characters.
And I mean, this is somewhere where I bitched earlier about Moffat and the cheating death, but this is somewhere where it absolutely works, and not only works in logical story terms, but also enhances the story by the fact of her return and builds around it, uses it for the Zygon story as a driving part of the plot. So just fantastic. And it touches so many scenes, the scenes of a lot of the scenes with the kids in them. A lot of I'm actually struggling, but there's it really does tug the heartstrings in terms of talking about the challenges minorities face, how political actors of bad faith manipulate situations, the whole ugliness of the immigration issue, which is, as I know people disagree with me, but it's just manufactured, is my opinion. It's bullshit.
Totally manufactured and totally conjectured. Yeah, completely agree. Oh, I didn't notice you there. Rejoice, everyone. Flow Snake in the chat. Hello, my snaky comrade. Yeah.
I gave
totally
really
convicted.
Slightly.
Yeah, totally convicted, totally manufactured. Obviously, we're all meant to just take their bullshit at face value and just literally swallow all this nonsense. And these two episodes portray it perfectly. I can speak so much about this episode because I saw it 8 days ago. Super Hubby was watching it. Those were the two episodes we were watching when we were meant to go live last week, Andy, by the way. With him yelling at me. I love my husband, don't get me wrong, but the man is a bit of a bastard.
That's a good excuse to be late for a stream, though. I was watching the Zygon invasion / yeah. I must remember that next time I get in trouble. Andy, where's your homework? I was watching the Zygon invasion / inversion.
Oh, crap. Right. You don't. Do not dob me in. Do not dob me in because he'll just yell at me again when we're in private, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm fucking fed up. I'll just be a pliant little girl and try to get him to calm down. Might take me a bit. Don't
Jacqueline
worry,
asked
no
a question
violence.
that might pull us off on a tangent. If we can wrap our heads around it quickly.
Oh no, I can't. I can't because the rest of tonight and into the early morning, I will take to explain one of my favourite tangents because it involves 3 different doctors.
Right.
We're not going there.
I'm also going to avoid Jacqueline's question. Although, may I remind you, I have a Patreon where you can subscribe for £1 a month and get loads of stuff. And if anybody wants to ask Jacqueline's question on there, I will write a post on it. Or a video, I'll put it in a video extra. Yeah. Because we've still quite a bit to get through and we are struggling to keep up. Katie, you've made your selections as heaven sent and hell bent. I guess with the first, not much guess on why, but answer, because it's fucking brilliant.
Because it's fucking brilliant. So the daughter gets sent a confession and he gets transported and he has to get his way out of a structure which he helped design. It is rather fun, and there's also a looming presence always right behind him reaching out. The way that thing got portrayed, even though it was shrouded, always give me a kind of like, ooh, a chill down my spine. Really quite good. And the way they portrayed the actual sets that they used and the way the narrative worked when he got put into the confession. Amazing. What do you think of that episode when he's actually stuck in that structure?
I'll be honest, it's one I find hard to rewatch, but not, for all the right reasons. It is art. It is a wonderful meditation on grief. It's got whole Franz Kafka's The Castle all over it. It proves that not only can you do a companionless story, but you can do it extremely well. That you don't actually need a companion if you are. We've seen many stories where the Doctor has been joined by a temporary companion alongside their regular one, and all they need is somebody to talk to. But I think Moffat takes that to a new level. It's really high art because it's really ambitious in terms of, like, it's just so. I've lost my thread already, but because it's kind of what it's talking about isn't using a lot of exposition. It's using a lot of symbolism, and a lot of it's unspoken. Like a lot of it's stuff you have to go and watch video essays to supplement gaps in your knowledge. Like I still can't remember what the whole bird thing was about. But yeah, fantastic. One of the easily
No,
deserving place
I
top rankings.
I'll go on a little sort of mini tangent here. The reason that certain types of birds, they're usually corvids, crows, ravens, jackdaws, and sometimes raptors, eagles, falcons, blah blah blah. The reason they get depicted is because they come out of the sky and come swooping down to take out their prey. So it gets used as a symbolism that they're invading and taking you over. They're taking you away. They're taking away your essence. Blah blah blah. And that gets portrayed throughout mythology and history in certain cultures across the millennia. Essentially, that's why
Of
birds
course,
get used.
I'm just now remembering hearing you talk about this. It links back to Clara and the Raven, the bird symbol again.
Yeah.
There's some really, I bitch a lot about Whovians on YouTube, and they are a head stuck up their own ass bunch, but there are a faction of them that are. They really are. They need to stop whining about Doctor, or stop studying Doctor Who. Go make videos about something else. But there's a bunch of them that make phenomenal video essays. It usually tends to be the people that do the long form stuff, and they will go into the themes and subtext. And let's face it, heaven is hell. Heaven sent or hell bent is exactly what that's for.
Yeah.
I love a good
Heaven's-
video essay myself.
I will
What about
move
hell?
on to Hellbent.
Hellbent.
Oh, rejoice! The Doctor's back on Gallifrey, and he's dealing with the High Council of the Gallifreyan Lords, who are
They are
all
dicks.
they're all egotistical bastards, self-serving, manipulative fucking cunts. MPs, or lords, if you
Like
wish.
like Doctor Who fandom as classic timing doing comment.
The one that reminds me the most, Jacqueline, is where the last leg covered it, and they were pissed off that Jodie Whittaker became the Doctor after Capaldi, and all your cis white hetero males got kind of butthurt, essentially. Why have they made Doctor Who a woman? Because she's a really good actress. She was brilliant in Broadchurch. She's best friends with David Tennant. She was quite a good Doctor. And they get so fucking whiny with certain storylines and choices of like either companions or the Doctor. So obviously, until Ncuti and Jodie Whittaker turned up, cis white man.
Wow,
Don't get me wrong.
It's an
They're
off-topic
brilliant.
tangent rant against Chris Chibnall, and it's not me doing it. I'm going to use it in the boys' room. I'll be right back.
Okay. Try to stay on topic, and little bit of a side tangent. the reason some of these people get so fucking upset or ranty or whiny and little bitches about it is because, oh no, Doctor Who's went woke, the BBC's went woke, oh, they're too left wing. No, they haven't. No. Don't get me wrong, some of my favourite ones are really, really left wing episodes through it, like from Eccleston onwards. Don't get me wrong, they happened in the past. But yeah, in certain sections of society here in the UK have always been bitchy about the Doctor. As far as I'm concerned, they can all shut the fuck up. I've got issues with certain doctors and certain episodes and certain writers of things, blah, blah, blah. But on the whole, Doctor Who has been fucking amazing. And the sooner they fucking realise that, they're not going to get us to shut the fuck up, because we are the majority, by the way, now. Shut up, you whiny little bastards.
I wasn't overly enamoured
Rant over.
by the Gallifrey Hellbent one. And I think, I mean, there's a lot good about it. But
I get it.
I think it's the timing. I think the timing has a lot to do with this, because you have Moffat does such a fantastic job in the 50th of setting up the Doctor's new mission to find Gallifrey. And that's something that feels like as foundational as Russell Davies saying the Time War wiped them all out, or as foundational as Hartnell setting off. So it feels a bit like a bit of a cheat for 2 series later for that just to happen. He's found Gallifrey. It feels a bit of a bit selfish, a bit of a betrayal of what he set up for future storytellers.
Maybe
easy.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I was going to say maybe a bit of a grab to try and get a new, some more audience. Maybe not a new audience, or expand on the audience. Don't get me wrong, I still love Heaven Sent and Hellbent. They're my two one of my two favorite Capaldi episodes. I thought they were really quite good and really well executed. I like them. What can I say? Everyone, go and watch Heaven Sent and Hellbent.
Sorry, I hope I wasn't talking there. Having a few wee buffering.
Hello? I'm still here.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep. Cool. Okay. I'm just trying to screen what has happened. Let's see. Have you got it? No.
Oh, bollocks. If everyone can still hear me, hello. Feel free to post in the chat who your favourite... Right, firstly, the Doctor you grew up with, especially if you're UK based, and who is your favourite Doctor of whatever Doctor it is. I can see you. I can't hear you. Niall. Hello, Niall. Oh, damn it. Oh, your family doctor. Oh, thank you, Nabil. Oi, oi. Can you hear me? Nice one. Everyone, rejoice. Our sneaky comrade can hear me. Andy? Oi, oi.
Dun, dun. And it sounds like I'm back.
Rejoice! Haha!
Hello.
Welcome back. Hi.
Cool. Right. I'm going to try and share my screen again and see what happens. I might just box over here first. Okay. Yeah. Page unresponsive. Wait. Do, 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 do. So I think I'm back on problem, but we're just waiting for Restream to do its stuff before I can share my
Right. A
screen.
total side tangent while you're trying to get this loaded up. Quickly explain bird law to me or direct me to an episode.
Sorry, say again?
A little bit of a side tangent. Explain bird law to me or direct me to an episode. Because I've been looking at your t-shirt for a good few hours, a good couple of hours now.
So it's an Always Sunny reference, case surprise. Charlie Day, being Charlie Kelly, is certain that he is a bird law. Which, if I've been quick enough, or maybe if I am, I can show you before the screen gets shared. There we go. Kelly and Associates.
Thank you.
So
right.
We should be sharing
Rejoice,
my screen now,
I have
but that hasn't actually happened.
Rejoice, everyone. I have seen
No,
the first two episodes of Always Sunny. I will get there. Don't worry. What series is that one from?
Sorry, Katie. I had to shut down the screen share there. So I missed your comment when I was trying to figure that out. What did you ask?
What series is that T-shirt from?
Oh, 3 or 4, I guess.
Okay. So I am on episode series 1, episode 2. I haven't seen 3 yet. Give me time, everyone. I will get there.
Right, I'm not not really sure what's going on with Restream here. This is it, but it's really annoying. Yeah, see. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was going so.
Hi. It was, yeah.
And I'm back. Right. We'll do one last attempt. Oh, can we do a synchronicity test, Kate? Can we? I'm going to count down from 10 and you count in when you hear me. 10, 9, 8, 7,
8,
6,
7, 6,
5,
5, 4, 4,
4, 3, 2.
2,
Right, I
1.
don't know. 0. Are we in sync yet? Anybody? Sounds like no.
Repeat
I'm
after
gonna share
me.
my
Pat
screen
McFadden.
one last time.
Oh.
Pat
Repeat
Pat
after me.
McFadden.
Pat McFadden is a cunt.
Pat McFadden is a cunt.
Yay!
That work? Yay.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Right, I'm going to try sharing the screen one more time, and if this doesn't work, we'll just read out the article anyway. So let's see what
I can do that if you want.
here. Okay. Okay. It's working. No, it's not. Right. Okay. I will, in the end of getting us through this quickly, I will read out the article. So this is from Royal News. Online speculation mounts as users link Israel to Situa border crisis. As thousands of migrants crossed from Morocco into the Spanish North Africa enclave of Ceuta, triggering emergency declarations and widespread local disruption, a wave of commentary online has pointed fingers towards Israeli diplomatic rhetoric as a driving factor behind the unfolding crisis. Can you still hear me, or?
Yeah, I can hear you. I would say I would take over reading it if you want, but I can't see it.
Just going to try removing a few sources here from a bloody lefty tech failure. We might have to make this a turret. Utter tech failure. Right. My brain is freezing.
If you
like constantly. Yeah, I'll just try and raise.
come back. What I can do, even though I've still got my phone here, I can read it out and we can talk about it if you want. Take off screen rotation.
Do you want to read that article, and then I will try and sort out my BS my end.
Yeah. What paper was that article from again?
So that's the Royal News link in your, yeah, you know where to find it.
Go to Discord. Wake up. Okay. That's it.
Okay, I'll take over.
I've got it.
Oh, hold on.
I've
I'm
got
seeing
it.
it come up as a scene.
Okay. Oh, Christ's sake.
Got it on screen now, at long last. Right, over Katie. Now it's the text decided to do its fucking job. Online
No
speculation
problem.
mounts as users. So if you were in Helena's stream last night, no, just as MTG, she already covered that, and that's where I took the inspiration to include this, because it does take a bit of wrapping the head around, and it's a mental fucking story, which you've probably caught parts of, but if not, you'll pick it up here. Online speculation mounts as users link Israel to Ceuta border crisis. As thousands of migrants crossed from Morocco into the Spanish North African enclave Ceuta, triggering emergency declarations and widespread local disruption, a wave of commentary online has pointed fingers towards Israeli diplomatic rhetoric as a driving factor behind the unfolding crisis. Over the past week, thousands of individuals attempting to reach European soil entered Ceuta, mostly by swimming around coastal breakwaters or crossing shoreline barriers.
Hang
Local
on.
reception facilities.
With these swimming crossing attempts, 52 people have now died. Well done, Donald, you fucking bastard. Carry on, Andy. Sorry.
That's actually a bit behind it. So what I'm reading today is I think the figure I got was between 69 and 86. So the death tolls shot away up. When Nina covered, sorry, your signal's not well. The signal from my hearing it break up a bit. If you can't, if my mic is breaking up for you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Katie, just let me know.
Okay.
Local reception facilitated capacity.
I can take over if you want. Andy! Ah! We can see him, but we can't. Andy,
Um,
I can take over if you want.
I mean, I'm fine.
Oh dear. Ugh.
Yep.
Rejoice, rejoice, everyone! Leftist tech, isn't
Okay,
it? Fun?
if you want to take over, can I try my best to story about on the screen?
Okay. Local reception facilities quickly exceeded capacity. No wonder. Leading regional officials to request an immediate national emergency declaration and additional security support from Madrid. Following previous public criticisms of Spain's border situation by Israeli officials, including UN ambassador, that's the Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, who publicly questions Spain's territorial status over its North African enclaves. You have to remember, Israel isn't expansionist at all, honestly. Social media users and political commentators began floating theories regarding underlying motives. Really? I'm surprised. Spain, which never misses an opportunity to lecture Israel, has declared a state of emergency in Ceuta following the crisis over its immigration policy. Citation needed. Maybe before it continues lecturing us, it's time to explain to the world why it still maintains colonial enclaves in Africa. Danon said on Twitter. Elon, get fucked. I'm not going to
Dead.
call it X. Internet commentators and several Spanish public figures have alleged that the crisis may be connected to retaliatory pressure over Spain's recent foreign policy stance regarding the Gaza conflict. Really? I hadn't realised that. Older statements made by Yair Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu's son, by the way, Prime Minister's son, have also recirculated widely. Really? Your social media game, Israel, is on point, as always. In May 2019, amid arguments over Spanish support for pro-Palestinian NGOs, non-governmental offices, by the way, he posted a map of Ceuta and Melilla with the message, "Dear Arabs and Muslims, want to free occupied Arab Islamic lands? Here's a good start." Basically encouraging people to invade or cross borders either illegally or legally at the behest of a foreign national. That's fun. Totally within international law, of course.
Yair Netanyahu accidentally educates people as to this current crisis by sharing this image where you can see on the left side of the screen how close Ceuta is with the Spanish mainland. But also, I mean, note this is dated May 25th, 2019. So this is very much tantamount to the sort of scenes that we've seen of 49,000 people migrating within the space of 24 hours. I mean, this is
the 24 hours. The 24 hours is correct. It is now estimated 68,000.
68,000.
Yeah, in the space of a day. Yes, no foreign coercion happening here at all. Honestly, why would any other foreign national actor want to do this at all? ever.
The story already, of course, has its own Wikipedia page, as well it might. And if I read correctly, a sizable number of those who crossed have returned.
Correct, Jacqueline.
I mean, there's just scanning down. If you can still see my screen, there's
Can see it,
a
yeah.
photo of some of those, and there's probably only under 500 in that photo, a very tiny proportion of those that crossed. I mean, it put in mind to me Reform UK's Breaking Point art, which is of course a homage to Nazi Germany scare tactics. And the same, I suspect, is true of Israel here and America. And they've been very quick to, if not outright suggested, as 7 years ago, to capitalize on it. I mean, Farage is already bleeding about it. Trump is going on and explaining why, this is what happens to Spain when they've got a lax immigration policy, or a liberal or lefty immigration policy. Just scumbags making hay from a horrible disaster, actually.
Yeah. He later replied to Spanish critics, "Dear Spanish people, I see you all got upset. Really. Ceuta and Melilla are tiny territories you own across the sea on another continent. Now imagine how we feel when when
your government calls for Israel to give away
your government
Samaria.
calls for Samaria. Let's make a deal. We won't fund NGOs in your country calling you to give away Ceuta and Melilla. And we'll stop funding NGOs in our country that calls us to give away... international law doesn't work like that, you fucking bastard. Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, Israel aren't interested. Decades and decades and decades of them being told they're breaking international law, that they are illegally occupying a settlement, a country. And really need fucking spanked instead of being America's wanking arm. Sorry for the graphic language.
No.
This is a tragedy.
No, that it is. The fact that thousands of these people were basically cajoled, in some respects, kind of brainwashed into actually doing this. Despicable on the ones who are actually doing the cajoling.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that don't add up about this. So figure we had it at nearly 49,000, but I think you added that. Did you say?
A story I read when I was sorry everyone, I was in the pub this afternoon. Story I was reading on the Guardian's website said 68,000, so it's somewhere between like 50 and 70,000. The numbers are a bit wibbly when these sort of events happen, these sort of things happen. So just take a guess, somewhere in the mid to high 50,000s, essentially. I would put it in like the sort of low 60,000s. But yeah, anything between like 48 and like 68,000 people crossing in the space of a day. Essentially. Utterly despicable that they were cajoled or encouraged, if you wish, to actually do this. at the behest of their own fucking government at the end of the day, remember this, the Moroccan government
Got a
actually
little bit.
encouraged their people to do this.
I think it's really important that we so I mean there's all kinds of inconsistencies with this story. As Lena said last night, it appears that security at the border just waved a whole bunch of people with no checks, that have encouraged them actively to go through. And I think it's really, as somebody remarked in chat, we're glad for the help to get their head around this. And I think it's really important that we covered this and that Helena covered it and people keep talking about it, because this size of migration, which has been called an invasion, and I think that's a fair comment, will be weaponized against the left. It's already happening. And this event, these photos will be referred back to again and again and again. It happens if you create a fair and just society that people are welcome to migrate into. So we do need to wrap our heads around what is happening here. Like, you know, I think we need to keep coming back to this story in the weeks and months ahead and try and figure out what is going on, because it will be used against us.
Oh, they can try and use it against me if they like. They really can. It's not going to work at the end of the day.
We'll go on to our next story. I don't know if you want to. Well, no, I can take this. It's a shorter story, and I think my microphone's synchronized now. You can all hear me, okay? Yeah.
Oh, I was wanting to read this one.
Do you want to read this one? Tell you what, I'll do the stuff above the photo, and then let you go into the text. From the Guardian. Diane Taylor, 20th of July, Tuesday. Home Office used AI hallucinated information to refuse asylum claim, judge suggests. Upper Tribunal unable to find documents cited in case and claims it is analogous to relying on bogus evidence. So take it away, Katie.
A senior judge has accused the Home Office of a senior judge has accused the Home Office of relying on AI hallucinated information to refuse asylum claim. The case relates to a Moroccan woman and her child who fled her country after experiencing forced underage marriage and extreme violence, including rape. The woman claimed asylum on the basis of fears that she would be killed by her husband, a powerful, previously convicted criminal. Fantastic. The Home Office refused her case, citing evidence from a supposedly independent and authoritative document known as Country Policy Information Note, CPIN, which they said confirmed that Morocco would be safe for her. Citation needed. Do your due diligence, Home Office, you fucking bastards. But the document could not be found, although its existence was relied upon by a judge who rejected her appeal against the Home Office refusal decision in an immigration court known as the first tier tribunal. There's 3 or 4, I believe, depending on the type of individual. The woman lodged a further appeal to a more senior court, the Upper Tribunal Court, where another judge raised concerns about the unlocated document. And a decision on the 14th of July, the judge said, it appears that no such CPIN has ever existed. Who'd have thunk it? He added, in relation to the missing document, no such document has been located in a public domain, and moreover, the Home Office Home Office's country policy and information team has been unable to confirm its existence. I hate my government.
Isn't this fucking disgusting?
You are one of the 4 great offices of state. Do your fucking job, Home Office, you bunch of fucking bastards. He said that after looking at the Home Office letter refusing the woman's asylum claim, it bears hallmarks consistent with the use of artificial intelligence. It may therefore transpire that references to country information note in Morocco, July 2021, and that letter are a result of an AI hallucination. If so, that would represent an extremely serious failing on part of the respondent, basically the Home Office. In a further critical statement, it just said that relying on a document that did not exist was analogous to relying on bogus evidence, basically fucking lying in a court. He determined that the issue was a procedural irregularity, not doing their due diligence or doing their fucking jobs. The Guardian asked the Home Office if the document existed and where it was, after initially sending a link to an archive where the document could not be found. The Home Office produced a different document of a piece of unpublished internal guidance known as Country Information Note. No CPIN has been published on Morocco since 2017. In the course of the case, the Home Office references changed from internal guidance CIN to the CPIN, which generally treated as authoritative judges.
Do you want to know? Do you want a wee reminder of whose watch this happened on as Home Secretary? So, and I'm just going to count back the last 6 or 7 because it was a bit of a change. Syed Javid, Priti Patel, Suella Braverman, Grant Shapps, James Cleverly, Yvette Cooper, Shabana Mahmood. So essentially like fucking Batman's fucked up rogues gallery of cunts. And not the nice cunts. The horrible ones.
It's amazing, isn't it? I want the
every
best
scumbag you can think of. I mean, those are the top. You know, those 6 or 7 are in the top 10 of scumbags in British politics.
Right, Helena done that tier of the entire cabinet last week. Should I do a tier for cunts? Basically, who should be TOS and who should be also TOS?
I don't
and
know.
We can rank.
I don't know. It is tempting. I think it might get a bit depressing a bit quickly.
Oh, no. I know lots of stuff about these people, Tories, Labour, a couple of SNP, unfortunately, and a good few Lib Dems.
If I may be so bold, my friend, that's part of the problem. You know, we all know to different extents what bastards these people are. The devilry they get up to is just foul. It sends you to tears. So I don't know. I mean, it's an option. I would like to see. I would like to do something more positive about people that actually give a crap, because there's too much news coverage of fucking serial killers, which is what these people essentially are.
Correct. Oh, fuck's
Anywho,
sake. The internal document, which was never disclosed to the court in legal proceedings, obfuscation or a denial of proof, or basically lying, does not include that Morocco is a safe country for forcible return of women, such as the one appealing against this decision. Delightful, sending a woman back and her child to literally get. It states that in 2018, exemptions were made granting 40,000 child marriages, 1/5 of the total marriages that year. What the actual fuck? It adds that Morocco's laws do not explicitly criminalise marital rape. Rape within marriage is still rape.
What the
That
fuck?
only
What the
changed.
fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
That didn't change until the 1970s. 4 years before your lass was born, by the way.
And this
And it
is
still took 6 years after I was born for it
and
to
this is
actually get
more
codified.
multiple what the fuck. Women who report this may be criminalized for engaging in sex outside marriage if they are disbelieved by the authorities. What fucking century is the Moroccan legal system living in? Fucking BC.
They're not an absolute monarchy. They're basically similar to us, a constitutional monarchy. They have a parliament. People get voted in, but they've still got a head of state, just like we've got a head of state. Ha! Rejoice. Just fucking end me. The Home Office sources said they were unable to provide additional information about the case that the judge had requested. Home Office, if you can't produce that proof, get better processes, you fucking...
I think you mentioned earlier in reading out, I was a bit spaced out when you covered it, but that they couldn't produce documents either in the public domain or in the private that related to this within intergovernmental communications or internal.
Right,
It makes me so angry.
A little side tangent. We might be kind of lower on the global rankings of world powers, whatever the fuck that means. But we still get one of the best information and spy networks in all of the planet because Empire, rejoice! Isn't it amazing? The Home Office knew this information. They fucking did. I don't care what they fucking say. They knew this information. I know how good our fucking network is. I've literally fucking dived into it. The stuff that's got released, obviously, there's still stuff that is locked away in vaults underneath the Houses of Parliament and other locations that none of us, I repeat, none of us will ever fucking see. Because the British state. Fun! Rejoice, we have Miss Haider. Hello, darling.
Miss Haider, hello, welcome to the stream. I don't know if Layla Spellwind's in tonight, but this is where they frequently lose their rag with artificial intelligence, and this is the sort of thing why artificial intelligence is so dangerous. This is the end point of it.
Do you want to know something? We have one of the best. We have the bestie, the best, the Welsh techie god, and we can ask him about this if we can actually get him if he's not too busy being a new dad. He's got some really good takes.
Yeah, well, we'll let him enjoy that for a while. Let him get his paternity leave in. Jacqueline asks, how soon before they have jury trials where the barristers or advocates, the jury and judge are all AI? Frightening and probable. I think. I'm sorry
Jack.
to piss
Jacqueline.
all over with Jacqueline, but yeah, these
Andy.
bastards will try it.
Andy, Jacqueline, Miss Haider, Flow Snake, Omaha, Jim, if you're still here, Supermod, Nabil, if all of you are still here, it's never going to happen. I've still got breath left in me. I'm not going to let that happen. My cousin isn't going to let that happen.
So there's a few things we can do to fuck with AI. I mean, as I've said before, it's inevitable, and all we can do is fight AI. We can't hope to win. We can fight it for as long as possible. So there's a procedure called chat might have to help me out here and yourself, Katie, where you feed artificial intelligence bad intelligence purposely so that it does produce nonsense data. Now, we are already, with this particular case, we are already seeing that as part of the flaw of the system. But what we need to do is make it so intentionally nonsense and unreliable that the people at the top sit up and take notice that their story that this is good information is completely blown out of the water. So, whatever bullshit you can feed it about yourself, the more ludicrous, the sillier, the blatantly wrong. For example, I'll just toot my own trumpet here. On my Facebook account, it says I was born in 1914. That's my date of birth on Facebook. I put that in about 7 or 8 years ago, getting sort of happy 100th birthday messages and so on and so forth.
Oh, you're looking amazing for 112.
Thank you. So yeah, we really need to fuck with the system because, I mean, you don't need me to tell you this, but rape is something that destroys people's lives. It destroys whole communities. Not just the initial victim, the survivor, but the people around it. And where it is artificial intelligence is manipulating the law to deny people rights to survive, to try and move on with their lives. It just shows you the sort of the evil that this tool can be put to. And we get in and blow up the machine as much as.
Here.
And as well infect it with good information too. We need more information on to take rape and survival. Again, to share more information on survival techniques and coping strategies, on correct behaviors, on reporting. Like we all know Donald Trump is a rapist. That should be a fact that works its way into these large language models. Yeah. And I think there's been a few cases recently, hasn't there, where Elon Musk has been held victim to some of Grok's summaries about him.
You love to see it. Be sure your sins will find you out, Elon. Trust me, they always do. Oh, God.
So we're just about 1 o'clock, Katie, and I think we've gotten through about 2/3 of what we wanted to do tonight. I don't know if we should carry on because it's going to take us at least another hour, I think, to get through. But I'm really proud of what we've done tonight. I think it's been a fantastic stream so far.
I'm game if you are, if you want. If you need to head off or anything, I'll carry on.
I'm fine. Well, if you're carrying on, I'm carrying on, then we're in it together. Okay, so let me try and share my screen again. Give me a wee minute just to source some artwork. And I'll be right with you. We are going to move back into talking talking episodes that we love. And you should see appearing on screen now promo art for Doctor Who season 10 to help sort of get you in the mood to conjure that up. There's your comments. Out in space with Bill Potts.
Pause, please. I'll be back.
That's ideal. I think rest as well. So what I would suggest is if anybody else hanging about for the rest of the stream would like to go and take a toilet break or a stretch break or a hydration break, now would probably be a really good time to do so because my voice is a bit cracking at the moment. Jackie's off out for a ciggy. I'm gonna pour some more cream soda. If you're hanging about, feel free to fill up the chat. Let us know if you're thinking tonight is working. Because I have a similar sort of pitch for Katie as to tonight's one, which I'll talk through with her next week. I'm going to be taking a break next week. I'm off to England, to Oxford, to help organize the Caption Comics Festival. In Oxford or near Oxford. Come down, it's next weekend. I'll be there from Wednesday through to the following Tuesday just to get comfortable, get my feet under the table before and after the event. And if you're in Oxford around the time and you fancy meeting up for a drink or whatever, yeah, we can hang out. One sales table, auction, quiz, sometimes theatre, shared meal, very much a social kind of place. Yeah, lots of fun. Yeah, Omaha, I caught that as well. And with the two major media visible conflicts in the world this last few years. There's been drones really seem to have played much more of an important part in the warfare. I think they were there right in the invasion of Iraq in 2004. But I've seen reports of swarms of drones attacking military bases. When I get back from Oxford, I think it'll be we'll be in a position to talk about the results of the Clacton by-election. It happens on a Thursday, so they should be out, I would assume, by the time of our Saturday night stream. So I think it's going to be one of those things everybody's going to cover. I'd be up for it if I'd like to find a fresh angle. Other people aren't doing that might be kind of tricky. I saw Katie's stream, I think it was last night, where she had offered over on Twitch to cover any subject viewers wanted. And do put suggestions in Katie's Discord. I might even see if I can do a channel specifically for the Saturday night stuff. I wrote a big post on this for my Facebook and my YouTube about how much these Saturday nights mean to me. I think we're doing something really awesome here, and you're all part of that, and you know it. I do want to wait for Katie to get back in order to rest my voice a bit. And there's 2 episodes we're going to talk about that she watched, I think, today. Maybe 4 episodes. I don't know. Oh. Excuse me, I'm still paying attention to the chat. Yeah. I gotta sneak for another cigarette. Probably a really bad idea if I'm trying to conserve my voice. But so I watched I watched a few episodes of series 10 recently. We talked about covering the news stories in this in terms of 2 themes. So we have Bill, possibly the Doctor's first gay companion, if I recall rightly. So that brought into view LGBT issues. And also a fair amount of the setting is at the university. So if you remember rightly, there's a doctor is mirrored kind of arc, mirroring the John Pertwee stuff where he's not supposed to leave this set location, which is a university where he is a teacher, which just makes an instinctually perfect kind of sense. He's a lecturer. I'm I can't remember if there has been any previous instances of this. But it seems to make perfect sense. The Doctor as a lecturer, particularly Peter Capaldi's Doctor, with his kind of advanced years and his very lecturing tone. Welcome back.
I return Tennant as John Smith.
Oh, yes.
I will say the word Yana. Yana. Y-A-N-A. For those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't know, ask me. Or Andy. Or Jim Speak.
So Yana is the companion at the end of she's at the I'm not going to give away spoilers if I do this. So she's the alien with the wobbly bits, right? And she's working with an old dude played by a famous actor. So what's the lecturer kind of link there?
No, so it started out with the family of blood, and you had the watch where the Doctor lived. Sorry if I'm giving away spoilers here. If anyone's wanting to see it, I can coach you through that entire arc if you wish.
Perhaps
so
a conversation
basically,
for another night. Oh, she was a professor. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
So Yana stands for You Are Not Alone, and that was said by the face of Bo.
Tangent.
I'm not going to go down that tangent.
Let's talk about the pilot. Did you watch this? Was this one of the ones you watched in the last 48 hours?
Yeah, it was one of the ones I watched. I quite liked the pilot. I completely forgot about that one, actually. I remember Smile because it's stuck in my head so severely because the emojis and those emoji bots,
Okay,
the
okay,
Vardy
one at a
in
time.
general.
One thing at a time, Katie. This is how tangents happen. So the pilot, I haven't watched it in a while, but I fond memories of it. Like I said, the Doctor thing. That it is a pilot. I mean, Doctor Who has always sort of relied on not explaining itself to viewers and not saying this is a show about, or this show has a mission statement and this is what it is. It's always kind of assumed, or made it up on the fly. And I mean, the pilot, while it refers to alien pilot, the name doubles as a pilot for the show.
It does
give us
indeed.
a brief talk through or opinion, or say something because my voice hurts.
So Capaldi is a professor at a university where Pearl Mackey's character is working in the canteen, and she makes chips. They're the best chips ever. Chips are amazing. I love chips. So she works in the canteen and she goes and listens to the Doctor doing his lectures to the actual students. And she loves it because it's the Doctor. Of course she's going to love it. he goes inside tangent, just like me, and he explains everything. It's like this and that, and it's all fantastic, and this is the world of science, blah, blah, blah. And it's very bombastic, as the Doctor can be at times. And she has a love interest who is called Heather. Heather is beautiful. She's got a star
Boo.
in her iris.
Boo. Heather's boring.
And she gets...
Sorry, carry on.
No, I see it. I get you.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She doesn't bother me so much in the pilot, I think. It's the end of series stuff and with her return, it really rankles me.
Yeah.
Very character.
Yeah, I can see why. I've got a good reading you now, Andy. You're completely screwed, by the way. I know how you think.
Is my
Kind of.
fly undone or what?
I can see how your mind works. I'm actually a good, sometimes I'm a really good reader of character and exposition and things like that. And through our streams and talking through VC and stuff, and you talking to me in chat, I've kind of got you decoded a bit. A little bit. No.
Cool.
So the pilot, Heather, finds this puddle that's just sitting there, doing nothing, looking like a puddle, like puddles do. Hasn't rained for a week, and that's still there. That happens. There might be a dip in the concrete. But she's fascinated by this puddle and the alien life form, which is hidden within this body of water, finds their pilot, basically an actual pilot. And the episode starts from there, and Bill manages to get the Doctor as her tutor every night at 6 p.m. And it progresses from there. Bill goes searching.
Class stratification.
There is, yeah.
One of the elements of it that I really like is, and I'm not sure if this is accurate. So there's a sense watching it where Bill and the Doctor run from this alien, and they encounter. There's a scene where they encounter Daleks at war with another species and I have a memory of the pilot as an episode with lots of these little sequences, like a kind of anthology of the Doctor and Bill crossing time and planets and just getting involved in tiny little incidents as they try to outrun the puddle girl. And I don't know if that's accurate, but I mean that's my memory of it, and that's why I quite like it, along with all the Pertwee nods and the university setting.
Yeah. Oh, Andy, can you answer Jacqueline's question?
Yeah. Which, is it Heather you find boring, Andy, or the storyline surrounding Heather you find boring? I think, let's be fair, it probably is a storyline surrounding her. I mean, I think she's okay in the pilot, to be fair. I'm a bit hard on her, but it's how Moffat uses her in the series wrap-up. Because she's kind of...
Ooh.
there's an emotional angle in the pilot and how she interacts with Bill, and that's established. But there's also very much a feeling she's like a one episode character. Um, and then at the end of the story arc, she's just pulled out of obscurity to assume this major role in the story, and it's quite a disconnect. I feel it doesn't really, it hasn't really earned it. If you know what I mean.
I can see that. I can see it. I quite liked watching the pilot again. It was quite good. Don't
That
get
was
me
good.
wrong. I've got issues with it and stuff. Um, would you say that Nardole was obviously not integral, but a supplementary character to move the story along, or was he just there for the ride, essentially?
Let's start with Nardole as one of those characters where Stephen Moffat kills him and then brings him back to life just because. But I think the character and what Matt Lucas brings is kind of like a second companion character, and really, I think it really informs the story. Really has a purposeful kind of. I mean, there's a part that that character plays in the story, and it's somebody to talk to for the doctor when Bill's not around. Somebody the doctor can confide in because Bill doesn't have the necessary experience for the whole thing with Missy in the vault. Um, and we get the impression that Nardole is somebody who, while not overly competent, is somebody trusted with a bit of history with the doctor and understanding of the seriousness of his possibilities and responsibilities. And I think it harks back to the Unit family, and we see all these calls back to Unit and Pertwee through the Capaldi era. And I think Nardole forms part of that suggestion that it's not just Bill. Nardole is part of what's keeping him grounded. And actually, in the story mechanics, Bill is actually pulling the doctor away from his responsibility to guard the vault. So you need Nardole there to anchor him to sell the story. Whew. How was that? Bless you. Katie suggested. Oh, she's not done yet. So I'm gonna wait.
Give me a minute, please.
I can talk about Smile a bit if you want. Or yeah, bring it on. Okay, so Katie recommended Smile. That was her choice, which is the second episode, which is all about the Doctor and Bill land on a planet with emoji bots, which little cute little robots, half size, with big emoji faces, and there's badges that they give out, which when you try to put it on you, it slips onto your back and the emoji changes. And then there's a whole swarm of nanobots.
Hang on. Cute, but utterly terrifying.
They do look
Thank
a
you.
bit scary, yes. Yes.
Oh no. That is the universe doesn't die in a big bang. It dies with a whimper. With them, literally unaliving us.
So
That's
there's a
why the
whole
emoji bots in my
yeah, they have a whole swarm of nanobots that grow and that come out of the walls, just feast upon colonists and turn into bones. And it's a bit of a quest mystery story. And I remember watching it years ago and thinking, oh, that was okay. Didn't really leave a big impression. I had problems with it. But going back and rewatching it for this stream, I really enjoyed it. I do think it still has issues in the wrap up, basically, but the whole journey to
It
get there
does,
is
yeah.
just so full of so
Yeah.
many good ideas.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great
I
Dr. Bill Nardo stuff in it too. And it looks
It's
brilliant. It's visually
that.
stunning.
Oh yeah, it's very it's beautiful to me. I know nothing about how to do set production and design and all of that sphere, but the actual layout, the area that they created for this civilization, this new colony, gorgeous, beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful, and yet still fucking terrifying. They are not in the wall, they are the wall. Was one of the sentences that stuck out to me. And watching it again, I could actually hear it coming up. I said, oh my God, that's why I remember it. They are not in the wall, they are the wall. Dear God, terrifying. Often in the
It's got a
Stephen
really good
Moffat
pace as
era,
well.
oh, hang on. Often in the Stephen Moffat era, he struggled to tie everything together. Miss Haider, you are correct. He tried his best.
Yeah,
He really
yeah.
did. He done a good job, but some of his execution kind of fell flat in its face.
So
Sorry,
the
Stephen. I
script for
love you
Smile,
desperately.
the script for Smile was by Frank Cottrell Boyce, who I'm sure has written other stuff for Doctor Who. I just can't remember what. Maybe some Whittaker stuff or maybe Class. I think he had a solid idea of what he wanted to do with Smile, and it seems to have played out on screen. But I don't know exactly what my problem with Smile is, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it this time.
I like that. First reactions are not necessarily the correct reactions. Don't get me wrong. Each to their own. Our reactions are all our own, and we express them or internalize them to a certain extent. My first time watching this, it all came flooding back to me. This is a memory hole. Everything's still up here. I just need a certain trigger, and it all comes flooding back to me. But with this one, it happened
Jacqueline
instantly.
asks, sorry.
Carry on. No.
Jacqueline asks, any Doctor Who reactors and reviewers on YouTube are quite good. I find myself watching Funny Little Girl Reacts, and at the moment she is halfway through Capaldi's first season. She's about to do Flatline, and her heart's breaking because the Capaldi version of the Doctor is just so, the way he is. We know what we're talking about, and it's breaking her heart, and she's crying, and her emotions are bouncing about quite a bit. There's a number of a number of really good video essayists. Clever Dick Films, Cosmic Night, NITE, has recently done some good stuff. Matt Smith and Capaldi. There's a guy called Davis, Davis, who does a series called Broke Canon about the really weird bits of Doctor Who lore that are kind of very funny or spooky. So yeah, I will. So funny little gal reacts. Cosmic Night, NITE, and Clever Dick Films.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
I will
And if you
try
can,
I will put that in chat.
if you can you post in Discord, please, my dear?
Yeah, funny little gal reacts, and the last two are video essayists. Little gal is the only one that is a reactor. How are you doing, Katie? You okay?
Yeah. Oh God.
Do you need to take a break or cut the stream short?
It's not that I am trying not to burp into my microphone because I don't want to deafen people, because that would be rather horrible, and no one needs to hear me burp. They really don't. No, I'm fine. I just keep on burping. Sorry.
We'd also chosen, no surprise here, the Dr. Full Enough in Time, which is a two-part Missy Master Cybermen story. Yeah, it's pretty dark.
It is pretty dark.
Begins with very dark. Bill taking a lift to a black hole, and I think really doing for the Cybermen what Dalek did for the Daleks as far as New Who. I think it's easily the best Cybermen story of the new era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Let's not do the spoilers on the finale. I know it was spoiled everywhere before it aired, but I think it's one that still, if you've not seen it, surprise.
Oh, Andy, can I quickly ask you something?
Go for it.
Can I quickly ask you something?
Go for it.
How does the casting process work? It's basically like, we'll just pick any of the doctors, any of them, or any of the companions. How does the casting process actually work? Or is it too convoluted?
I'm not sure how much I can reliably mention. So, I mean, with Eccleston, he and Russell T Davies had worked together on The Second Coming, a very quirky mini series, which was a lot of fun. And Eccleston had heard Davies was rebooting a show, got in touch with him. And I guess again, Davies had worked with Tennant on miniseries Casanova, and that had them in their orbit. There was some level of open calls from Matt Smith, And from what I've heard, Moffat actually really wanted Capaldi at that point. But Matt Smith came in and just blew him away with his performance. If he didn't want Capaldi, he wanted an older doctor. So we would have got a Capaldi-like figure in 2010, but Matt Smith just knocked it out of the park. With Capaldi, he was invited round to Stephen Moffat's home, and allegedly he was the only name on the docket.
Seriously? Wow.
Um,
Is that how the BBC works, in your opinion?
No, I mean, so I think that's the Capaldi at Moffat's house was a bit of an outlier. He had talked to people like Mark Gatiss and other production heads about Capaldi, and they all agreed he would be fantastic before. And it was a small group that he canvassed about Capaldi. As to companions, I'm really not sure. Be an element of who you know, the sort of hiring practice, and who knows of you, sort of thing.
Yeah, I suspected as much. Yeah. Ooh.
And you think of, say, like what pops into my head, the Tennant special, The Next Doctor, with David Morrissey. And you can imagine that was written with David Morrissey in mind. Similarly, when Kylie Minogue guested, Russell T Davies had he had her in mind from the beginning as he was writing the script. So yep, Colin Baker got the role after John Nathan Turner saw him at a wedding party. So bit of nepotism there, which didn't exactly end right. Have you anything to add on the Cyberman two-parter?
I'll say this one time. Here come the drums, here come the drums. To bring back John Sim. I liked it, but the way they used him in that series finale, issues.
Oh, well, the cat's out of the bag now, Katie, but I loved it.
I loved it as well, but
I think you could have Moffat could have gotten a lot more mileage out of him than he did. It's the same problem Russell T Davies had when he did Daleks v Cybermen. You could have strung that out for another episode because there was so much unused potential there. I would say wasted potential. What we got in both cases was pretty good, but we needed a lot more. Or a lot more would have been nice. I knew maybe one of them, or we could just talk about them and talk around them.
Bring one.
What's your
Bring one
feeling?
of
You're
them
looking
up.
shattered, my friend.
I am. I'm literally. I'm still awake. I'm just in some, well, not pain, but stiffness, and my knees and my ankles are causing me issues. I'm still here. I'm still awake. But God damn it.
Well, here's what I propose. I'll try and share them on screen, but instead we'll just talk a bit about them. Maybe a bit of a summary for people who haven't stories and give our own takes on them. Yeah, sound good?
Yeah, all good. Carry on. That sounds good.
So I can share the screen. So the first one's from the Royal College of Nursing, and it's about falling nurse numbers leaving with learning disabilities behind. There's just not enough teachers in working in this area of speciality. And it's actually quite shocking. So staffing down by a third and demand rising. This is the bit that freaked me out. Those choosing to study the specialism of learning disability has collapsed to fewer than 500 students in the UK. That's fucking abominable.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Yeah, totally abominable.
Hi, Rosie.
Hang on. Are you back home in the base country, Rosie, my dear? Welcome back home. I hope you had a good time while you were out on your jollies. Praise be. Everyone, say hello to Rosie.
Hi, Rosie. So there's 1.5 million people with learning difficulties in the UK, and 500 students preparing to be the next generation to look after them. Maybe look after them is the wrong phrase, but to care for them, to nurse them, to their specific needs, to be there for them. And there is the Equality Act of 2010, which says that those needs should be met. I can run through quickly the Royal College of Nursing's recommendations in their report on this.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
So, recognising learning disability nursing as safety critical, the profession should be explicitly protected in policy, commissioning and workforce frameworks as essential to patient safety, lawful care and health equity. The adoption of field-specific evidence-led workforce planning, stabilising and safeguarding the education pipeline, strengthening early career support and progression, and making the profession's value visible and measurable. And this crosses over a bit with what we were talking about earlier about how far Britain has fallen short of social care and the just appalling levels of investment within the austerity era, where students end up mountains in debt, where having a qualification at further and higher education is not enough to guarantee a job, where there is no support for the next generation of graduates to even find a job. Or
Oh, but Andy, that's the free market capitalism. You go and do blah blah blah, and you'll get blah 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 job.
Katie,
Yes.
have you any of those really rude burps left?
Uh,
Um,
how do we get rid of our government? Blah 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 TOS. Blah 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 TOS.
Now, at the risk of sounding like some kind of Miss Hire's away off. Good night, Miss Hire. Rest and restore.
I'll do it quickly. Good night, Miss Hire. Stay hydrated. Self care is good care. Take your meds. Stay base. Free Palestine. And tell Morgan McSteamy where he can shove it. Haha.
That stuff. That was well put, Katie.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye, Miss Hire.
Oh, we got cool emojis. Yes, at the risk of sounding like some kind of uber Scotland supremacist, Scotland a lot more on top of this. So free education at further and higher levels is not so.
Correct. Next. I can tell you in so many ways why Scotland is the base country, as always, because obviously it is. Next, yes, free education, free at the point of use, and if you don't earn earn anything above 38 or 42,000, it's somewhere there. I don't know if the legislation has went through. But it currently stands at if you don't earn anything over 38,000, you will not be taxed for your additional support, which at the most is like 6 to 7,000 roughly. Get behind us, England. Seriously. Most of you are
it kind of
scum.
kind of makes sense. And Burnham's talking about, we're gonna make sure that these social carers have an educated pathway. We'll just make the education free. You know, it's like having a happy workforce. A happy workforce is gonna do a better job, and an educated workforce is gonna do a better job. It's not complicated. It's pretty fucking obvious. And 500 nurses is not enough to look after 1.5 million people. And if that isn't meeting the Equality Act, it's probably falling very. Just give me a minute. It's probably falling very short of European Union regulations, of global health regulations. We have a bigger story there. Not that we need one, because that's scandalous and it's disgusting.
I was just going to say, guess what? Yes, you're correct. I will get back to that in a later stream. Give me a couple of weeks, my comrades. But yes, that situation is utterly deplorable. And guess what? Our government had a hand in it. Rejoice. I say this jokingly, just fucking end me, or I'm just going to end all of them.
Royal College of Nursing Chief Nursing Officer Professor Lynn Woolsey said the learning disability nursing workforce is vital but is in crisis. She said, the expertise of learning disability nurses has been poorly understood, inconsistently recognised, and insufficiently protected within health and care systems. Their contribution is repeatedly undermined and ignored in wider workforce planning and service delivery.
Can I quickly decode that?
Go ahead.
Fund the NHS properly, or you're going to have a crisis in like 3 or 4 years' time, which is going to be fun trying to campaign on the fact that a lot of us are going to fucking die.
Yeah, and we've already seen this during Cameron's austerity program. Record numbers of people with disabilities dying, thousands of them.
Correct.
We have a system in the healthcare. We have a system actually not just in healthcare, but all over Labour in Britain. Labour as in the work, that people don't know how to do shit, and we are reliant on migrants to do the things that we can't do, things that we should be able to learn how to do and just do. But there's this huge stumbling block, and I call it the right wing. I'm turning into Davy McGuinness here, but with less Scottishness. And my face is red because I was out in the sun all day and not because I'm screaming. But yeah, if it wasn't 10 to 2 in the morning, probably would. Should we look at our last story then, Katie?
Yes, please, yeah.
This is one you picked out, and I think it's maybe a bit shorter that I could read the whole thing. Let's have a look.
Okay,
So
can I?
I'm gonna
Oh,
give it a go.
can I read the
It's
title?
quite short.
Can I read the
Yeah,
title?
go for
Thank you. Unions to boycott Labour Women's Conference over trans ban. You'll have to see it. Carry on, Andy.
So Jennifer McLaren posted 2 days ago, or one day, depending if you're Saturday or Sunday. Several major unions will boycott the Labour Women's Conference this year due to a ban on trans women taking part. The annual event is traditionally held on the eve of the main party conference in September and aims to get women more involved in policy making. Labour's decision to ban trans women from the main hall but not fringe meetings at this year's event in Liverpool is because the party considers this the least restrictive way of balancing accessibility and compliance with new laws that came into force in April last year. As in, trans people are not real. But the move breaches the equalities policies of most of the unions affiliated to Labour who fund the party. I don't know why I'm adding emphasis because this audience already understands that. Labour, it seems, don't. Some actively campaigning for change in the law. Every year, the Labour Women's Conference brings together hundreds of women from Labour's activist base, including MPs, councillors, and supporters. Katie, because I can't see your screen, just yell if you want to interrupt. Historically, Labour has allowed people to self-identify, so trans women could attend the event and also take part in positive action measures such as all women shortlists. Things changed in April last year when judges at the Supreme Court unanimously ruled that a woman is defined by biological sex under equalities law. Following that ruling, Labour cancelled last year's Women's Conference outright, awaiting full guidance from the Equalities Watchdog around the definition of a woman. Fuck's sake. That guidance produced by the Equalities and Human Rights Commission and approved by ministers interpreted the law as meaning a trans woman is a biological male who identifies as a woman and should not use single-sex spaces. Well, what fucking sex spaces should they use? Based on that guidance, the National Executive Committee, which is Labour's governing body, agreed that references to a woman or women must be interpreted on the basis of biological sex. At the time, a leaked NEC advice paper recommended delaying the conference because the only legally defensible alternative would be to restrict attendance to biological women. Guidance. That's why the main session of this year's Labour Women's Conference will be restricted to biological women, including votes, keynote speeches and policy debates, although no restrictions will be placed on fringe events. Are you still with us, Katie? Katie?
Yeah, I'm still here. Don't worry, I'm still here. I'm still watching, fascinated by Capaldi and all these little episodes. They're amazing. They are. Not the first time the Doctor's. I want to say betrayal, but it's not that.
Yeah, Jacqueline says maybe it's time to look at the situation for deaths among the disabled community worldwide. Abso-fraggin-lutely. 4 unions. So, trans women will be excluded from votes, keynote speeches, and policy debates. 4 unions have confirmed they will boycott the event as a result of the trans ban. Unison, USDA, ASLEF, and the Musicians Union confirming they would not send a delegation this year. However, the BBC understands that the ban goes against long-standing policies on trans inclusion in most Labour-affiliated unions, so a mass boycott could be on the cards. A Unison spokesperson said the union disagreed with how the law was being interpreted to exclude. The union has decided against selling a delegation to Labour's Women's Conference this year. He said, "This is because the party's restrictions on access run counter to Unison's policy of trans equality. Unison's policy is that trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary identities are valid. The union is campaigning for a change in the law in line with this policy." And the Labour Party spokesman said, "Labour is committed to advancing women in politics and to providing opportunities for all members to network, debate and contribute. Labour Women Conference reflects our commitment to addressing the underrepresentation of women in the party, inclusion for all, and compliance within the law." Wankers. No, not even. Wanking is a fine profession. These people are just scumbags. And good on Unison and those other unions for standing up to them. Katie Marshall, that is a really bad place to sleep. I am going to attempt to call Katie and Yeah. Yeah, there is just this sort of change the goalposts to placate the far right appeasement policy. Yeah. Katie, I'm very uncomfortable with Katie in this position. So I'm going to duck out for a moment, find my phone, see if I can alert her, as it's not working here. That is a very uncomfortable position to sleep in. So if you want to bear with me for a couple of minutes, please keep the chat alive. Oh, this stream sponsored by Bars American Cream Soda. Night, Rosie. Kitty doesn't need to be sleeping with her back bent over like that. It will be very uncomfortable for her. So that was Katie's choice of story, and I've got a feeling she'll probably want to return to it in a stream during the week. So yeah. I mean, a boycott's the right idea. We need to be pushing back in any way we can. So those who are Labour members, who are Labour or union members, exercise rights as shareholders, as voters, do need to kind of vote straight out of the gate on this and push back against this Starmer reform legacy, which is just so horrible. So it's been a pretty long stream. Thank you, Jacqueline, for joining us. Have a good night. Have a good rest. And I am going to keep trying Katie. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I leave for Oxford on Wednesday. So I might pop into the stream next weekend, whatever Katie decides. And I suspect I'll probably talk to a few of you between now and then. I've got some stuff on YouTube. Do check it out. Do check out Katie's stuff. And I will see you when I see you. Night all, Night all, Ma.